home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. With a new batch of U.S. troops in the Middle East, President Trump ratchets up the pressure on Iran. CBS's Natalie Brand at the White House.
He does insist that discussions are continuing, but he did issue this new warning saying that if a deal is not reached, if the Strait of Hormuz is not reopened for business, he will move forward with blowing up and, quote, obliterating all electric generating plants, oil wells, and Iran's Karg Island. We know that's the main terminal for Iran's oil exports, potentially other infrastructure. And this threat comes as CBS News has confirmed that U.S. Special Forces, including Navy SEALs and Army Rangers, are now in the Middle East to serve as potential options for the president.
And President Trump says he has no problem with a Russian oil tanker off the coast of Cuba delivering relief to the island, which has been hit with a U.S. oil blockade. CBS's Mugo Odigwe.
Russia says the tanker loaded with more than 700,000 barrels of oil arrived today. Cuba has suffered weeks of fuel shortages and island-wide blackouts since the blockade started.
The U.S. has reopened its embassy in Venezuela for the first time in 7 years, months after seizing President Maduro. CBS's Camilo Montoya Galvez has learned the Trump administration is easing back on its crackdown on asylum seekers.
The Trump administration policy that is now being partially lifted really amounted to an unprecedented and indefinite pause on all asylum applications overseen by U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. That pause on asylum case is now being lifted by USCIS, except importantly in cases filed by people from 39 countries in President Trump's so-called travel ban.
Now to Florida, CBS's Mark Strassman is covering the Artemis 2 mission to reach the moon, with blastoff of the 4-member crew planned for Wednesday.
The astronauts are ready to go, and NASA will begin its official countdown clock later this afternoon, and before you know it, it'll be all systems go.
When it comes to streaming, there are more services than ever, and prices keep going up. CBS's Matt Wolf.
A new report from Amper Analysis shows streaming subscriptions globally hit $157 billion in revenue last year. That figure is triple from 2020 with $60 billion. Amper says it's the result of price increases and ad-supported tiers, not just subscriber growth. They're also predicting this will explode to $202 billion by 2030.
And checking Wall Street, right now the Dow is up 361 points. The S&P is up 26. This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world.
I'm Tony.
There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers.
How are you?
I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
The Millionaire's tax set to become law in just an hour. We're going to tell you all about it in just a moment. But first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. And we're recovering from a little bit of a tough morning, an icy morning as well. We will start in Seattle on I-5 northbound just south of South Albro Place. There's a collision partially blocking the right lane, and it's causing some difficulty there. We are pretty thick from the West Seattle Bridge back to Boeing Field. And the merge, of course, of that West Seattle Bridge is backing up. Ooh, boy, about halfway, almost all the way to West Seattle. It's tough getting into Seattle as well, but not as tough as you might expect for Monday morning. Backups start from 145th. The Lake Bridges are clear now, and 405 is not a bad drive. Just a little bit of a snag through the Renton S-curves going northbound, and looks like we got another collision there. The southbound direction right at the Maple Valley Highway. So that is counter commute, but it's causing some issues merging off the freeway there. This report brought to you by KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. In about an hour, Washington Governor Bob Ferguson will sign the income tax on millionaires into law, and there are already lawsuits being prepared. We will hear from Luke Ducey coming up on that lawsuit and more. They're saying there's 100 years of precedent and existing law backing that lawsuit up. A controversial new housing law is now in the books in Washington as well. Governor Bob Ferguson signed it on Friday.
House Bill 2266 ensures that step housing can be built more quickly and predictably all across Washington state.
It requires cities to allow permanent supportive housing in any residential zone. One woman is dead, another injured, and a home shredded by bullets in Tacoma. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman, who says this all happened after midnight on Sunday.
Tacoma police say the gunfire didn't stop off of East 91st at East B Street. As we saw several blocks away, more shell casings in the middle of the road.
We're ticking up to 100.
Have you ever seen this many shell casings inside a home?
In 20 years, I have not.
And as police gather as much evidence as they can,
any type of video evidence that we can recover from this, it could be that one piece that we need.
Still no arrests have been made when we last checked with Tacoma police. But if you know what led up to the shooting, well, detectives, they want to hear from you.
3 men are in the hospital after being attacked and robbed at a homeless encampment in West Seattle. Police say the victims were asleep in their tent yesterday afternoon when several suspects assaulted them with crowbars and asked them to turn out their pockets. No suspect descriptions have been released. The Mariners won last night, and pitcher Emerson Hancock had a major career milestone.
1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch to Kwan. Swung on, hit hard on 2 hops, right to second base. Cole Young has it. Throws to first, in time to get Kwan. Emerson Hancock, a brilliant start. First time out of the gates in 2026. Magnificent today. 6 scoreless innings, a career high, 9 strikeouts.
They move on to the Yankees tonight. Now we're checking your weather. Mostly sunny today, high of 52 degrees, cloudy tomorrow. It's 35 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Y'all know y'all listen to the Gee and Ursula Show, right? Happy Monday to all of you. But Ursula, what the heck? What the heck?
That's what I want to know.
What's going on? Ursula, you're back. Welcome back. Everybody asking, what the heck? What's up?
Well, I shared on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page because I finally felt like I needed to say something because I was thinking, I know what people are saying. Man, that Ursula never works. She was just on vacation. Can I just tell you, the only places I've been in the last week, no joke.
Where you been?
My bedroom.
Okay.
Urgent clinic.
Okay.
Or the ER.
Okay. 3 places.
So I'm happy to see all your faces right now because this is the first day I'm feeling good. Actually, yesterday I started feeling good. I knew I could come back today. But we're going to share. I learned a ton.
Okay. So at 9:47, you got to tell us all what happened. Take us through it.
Yes.
And you're also going to tell us what you learned.
Yes.
And maybe someone listening can learn from you because I ain't going to lie to you. What started off as a little something turned into what?
I know. I showed you guys when it was just a little something.
Yeah.
And it blew up. And one of the things that I found out is it's much more common than I ever thought it was. And the number of people who weighed in giving me advice, I love you and appreciate you.
Okay, 9:47, we do that. All right, let's get to it. Ursula's top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
This morning in Olympia, Governor Ferguson is going to make it official, signing Washington's first ever state income tax into law. But already it is facing its first legal challenge, probably one of many. And KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live in studio with details.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. So a little less than an hour from now, Governor Ferguson will sign that bill into law, and then it will end up in court, most likely before it's even supposed to be enacted, which is January 1st, 2028. Jackson Maynard with the Citizen Action Defense Fund put out a release this morning. He says they are preparing to file that suit in the next few days, and they've retained former State Attorney General Rob McKenna to lead their legal arguments and that legal charge. They will argue in court that this tax is unconstitutional based on a 1933 Supreme Court ruling which struck down a graduated income tax.
You can have an income tax in Washington state, but it has to meet certain requirements. It has to be uniform and it has to be capped at 1%. And the problem with the income tax that was passed by the legislature is it does neither of those things.
So supporters of the tax, like Andrew Villeneuve with Northwest Progressive Institute, and lawmakers as well, they're going to argue most likely that old 1933 ruling is outdated. What are we talking about here? They say this is about generating $3.5 billion every year for paying for expenses, tackling affordability issues, healthcare, small businesses, and school lunches.
The only way to fix that is to require the wealthy to pay what they owe.
And critics say the tax, though, will drive away more and more businesses if you do it. Now, we've seen Starbucks founder Howard Schultz. He announced that he was leaving for Florida. He announced that the day that this was passed the legislative branch. Zach Abraham, the chief investment officer at Bulwark Capital Management, a lifelong Washingtonian, says he's leaving now. And there are like 30 businesses in Snohomish County. They've all threatened to leave as well. So that's some of the fallout. But there are a couple points that are interesting as well. I can bring those up, or you guys want to tackle it right now.
I want to tackle a couple of things. One is, while I was gone, I saw that Starbucks former CEO Howard Schultz made that big announcement, and he's someone who's really good at the big announcements. But let's face it, he didn't make it just because he wanted to time it with this potentially, but that's not the reason why he's leaving. So, but I don't doubt that there are going to be people who want to leave. I am against this particular tax mainly because I don't think that there are any safeguards built in, and we've talked about that. So now it's $1 million. Is there any reason that they couldn't bring it down any further? But my question for you is, the lawmakers are trying to use a workaround. They're saying this is an excise tax on income instead of a property tax, and they're actually banking on the fact that in 2023, the state Supreme Court upheld the capital gains tax, saying that it's an excise tax, right?
Yes. So that will be part of this argument. So they successfully argued that the capital gains tax is an excise tax. However, people in this lawsuit will also say, no, the income is property. And you cannot say it's not property. I mean, that will be the big question here that Rob McKenna will end up arguing probably in the state Supreme Court. And it'll go from there. In the Seattle Times this morning, this is kind of interesting, too. They've been tracking movements of Washington residents since COVID. They found that 18% more people have left our state or leave our state every year. That's like 34,700 people. Most are going to three states, the top three states, Idaho, Texas, and Florida.
Yeah, all states that have less taxes.
Well, not necessarily. Yes. And what's also interesting, though, is, there are only 8 states that don't have income tax. Texas and Florida are on that list. Idaho's not. But there are 23 states in our country that have a graduated income tax where higher earners do pay higher rates. And California is topping that list. But also on that list, Idaho. They have that tax. And Montana and South Carolina, some of the red states. New Jersey and New York are rounding out the top 3 as well.
Yeah. Thanks, Luke. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Before we move on, Ursula, I find it interesting the move to Idaho for the tax, but it's funny how Idaho folks come over here for the health care.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, well, that's
Good
another
point.
story.
No, that is actually a great point, G.
Over the last, I would say, 2 weeks, I figured some things out on how I want to better talk about not just this, but any and everything. Because what's happening is that as we are arguing about, because usually when we are arguing, we don't argue and we don't debate. Like, people get upset, like, how dare you guys help those people out and those people getting food benefits, and that's because that's a zero-sum mindset. But when it comes to this millionaire tax, I'm done arguing and fighting back and forth, because I don't think it really matters if I say if I'm for it or against it. My problem is I wish at some point that there was some emergency when it comes to people being able to buy gas and buy groceries. Right now, we're going to have this, there's going to be the appeal process for the millionaire's tax and for all of the millionaires. But when we do this, I'm telling you, there's a little bit of, it's like almost a whisper when it comes to what's really going on. And I can guarantee you, the only time the millionaire tax is a huge focus is when you and I on a show or KIRO News Radio or on social media. But I know for a fact that is not the number one topic that we are truly dealing with. We are truly dealing with a lot of people in this state. We have over 7 million people in this state, right? And so the millionaire tax is going to affect what percent of the 7 million? So my point is this. I'll just kind of keep it simple. I just want to focus on Washington State has the most regressive tax in the country. That means, real simple, the folks with the least pay the most proportionally. And somehow we continue today, tomorrow, the next week, yesterday, to be comfortable with that. There is no fight for that. There's a fight for this. Mm-hmm. So again, if you agree with the millionaire tax or you disagree with it, I'm not fighting you on that. I'm not fighting the millionaire tax. I'm just looking forward to the fight for the people who make the least but pay the most proportionally. I'm looking forward to that fight.
Yeah, and I think that is a great point. And I think one of the things that keeps getting brought up, too, is the gas taxes. I mean, one thing that I am seeing a lot of conversations about and hearing a lot of it, not just on social media, but just in conversation, is feeling like people are being taxed out of the state. And I understand that is a sentiment, and I think it would be folks who are even struggling the most who would feel this the most. And again, I bring up, I'm not against who's being helped by this so-called millionaire tax. My concern is much more about, there are no guardrails, and that's my biggest issue with it. Okay, but this is a story, speaking of no guardrails, this is a story that broke while I was out last week, and it's worth bringing up now because it is so outrageous. I don't know if you had a chance to look into this, Gee, but King County is facing serious questions after a major audit uncovered widespread problems in how it's been handing out millions of taxpayer dollars through its Best Starts for Kids program. This was revealed by a Seattle Times investigation. It found that 19 out of 36 contracts reviewed showed signs of improper payments, possibly even fraud. And then the audit actually only examined about 2% of the total grant spending. So this is a program that voters first approved back in 2015. It was supposed to pay for early learning, youth services, family support. Sounds great. And then since then, it's grown to more than $1 billion in funding. And investigators say some organizations, were paid even though they didn't even finish the work that they were funded to do. In some cases, concerns were raised internally, including an employee who flagged the potential misuse of these funds, and then that person was fired. And I remember when there were early critics about this who said, this is a blank check, that there aren't enough specifics being talked about on how this money would be spent. So now, after this investigation, they're saying, well, maybe we'll create an inspector general's office to oversee contracts and prevent this from happening again.
Yeah. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous that probably the most ridiculous thing about this, Ursula, isn't that it happened. That's not the most ridiculous part. And that's bad. But the most ridiculous part is that it happened and there's no consequences.
Exactly.
Like, that is the worst part. And then we wonder why we have a bunch of folks that are extremely skeptical, because the same folks that are in charge or are centered and around that, they will continue to get promoted, keep moving. That's because goes back to, hey, you guys say Gee always is talking about the system. Every time I hear Gee talk, he talks about the system. Okay. Let me talk about the system. The system allows them to make these mistakes over and over because they have no fear of consequence. So when you have no fear of consequence, you can keep doing it. Like, for an example, Ursula, if I don't come home after work and just go to Vegas for 2 days, there's probably consequences with my wife. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if there were no consequences, I would probably continue to do it again and again. And so I know there's some people like, well, gee, you should want to do the right thing. Well, they should want to do the right thing, but they don't.
Yeah, well, and the person I hold responsible, former King County executive Dow Constantine, didn't do anything. I mean, again, the idea that you've got $1 billion in funding and there's no oversight as to how that's being spent. Current King County executive Gurmai Zalai, I mean, he was a council member, should have been raising flags. The only one who was making an issue early on was council member Reagan Dunn, who we had on the show before he got sick.
Right.
And this is where, when I say I am a proponent of more balanced government. This is an example of where I think the Democrats on the King County Council fumbled at. The one person raising issue is the one Republican council member, Reagan Dunn, on that one.
You know what, Ursula? I got one for you. This is easy. How about this? How about the Gee and Ursula Show invites the King County executive on the show?
Thank you.
Or anybody on the King County Council. And this is what we want to ask you.
Yes.
Explain what happened.
Thank you.
That's it. Just explain what happened.
Yeah.
And after you explain what happened,
what's changing?
No, not even before you get what's changed.
Oh.
Is anybody gonna be held accountable?
Thank you. I looked. Nobody.
And if you say yes, okay, who?
Yes.
Nobody. If you say no, then say it with your chest.
Dow Constantine has an even better job right now.
Oh, did Dow Constantine move up?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
He's got an even bigger budget.
So then, you know what? Then why is the Gee and Ursula Show talking about this? Why are we even talking about a system that is fail-proof? Like, they literally won't be held accountable. So again, there's an ask. I invite anybody from King County Council, come on to the show and explain to us, wait a minute, G, you're wrong. There will be consequences. Tell me I'm wrong. And in that way, I can get on the show and say, hey, everybody, I was wrong.
Paul.
Somebody's going to be held accountable.
We'll put out the request.
Somebody's going to be held accountable. Hey, watch. And here's a guarantee. Watch this. I'm willing to bet, Ursula, we have put out the request. I guarantee you. You know, because they say the Gee and Ursula Show, we ask softball questions. Nobody going to come on the show and want to talk about this. Nobody wants to talk about this.
The invitation is there. The invitation is there. Again, we had Reagan Dunn. He said that right now he's the most hated person in King County government because he's dared to ask people to come back for 3 days a week. But when I read that, I was like, oh my God, it was making me. I was already feverish, and I felt even hotter under the collar for sure. Oh, and by the way, I told you my response to this is going to be: I say no to any ask for more money as a King County taxpayer until I hear that someone was held accountable and things are actually changing. Thousands of people took to the streets across Western Washington this weekend as the No Kings rallies returned, bigger, louder, and more widespread than before.
If we don't do something, we're not going to stop anything.
And in Seattle, I know you were out of town, Gee, but I saw the video. I mean, there were crowds packing Cal Anderson Park before marching downtown. There were apparently more than 3,000 coordinated protests nationwide. Early estimates put Seattle's turnout between 75 to 100,000 people, making it one of the largest demonstrations in the city in years. And these protesters spoke with King 5 News about why they're out there.
We all are coming from a place where it's love, not hate, and that we are united in this effort. So it's really cool to see all walks of life come together for that.
And they say they're worried about the president ignoring the Constitution. They're fed up with the immigration crackdowns, wars overseas, and where the country is headed. But this was not just Seattle. It was Olympia, Shoreline, Bellingham, thousands showing up. Yeah. On my way to urgent care, one of the days was that must have been Saturday. Yeah, I did see them.
Yeah. Look, this is a beautiful thing. You got a lot of people around in this country all agreeing on something, all making their voices heard, using their constitutional right to protest. If you go back to history in this country, you go back to the civil rights movement, you go back to when they were against the war, the Vietnam War, and then obviously we are years later, and we're like, oh, they were right. All I'm saying is, if you guys want to talk history, by the way, you can look it up for yourself. There's never been a time in this country's history where you have mass protests and they've been wrong. These are people coming together, having their voices be heard. It's a real signal, letting you all know this is bigger. And so this will continue to happen, whether you agree or disagree, it will continue. And so shout out to all of you who have gone out there to peacefully make your voices heard, because in the future, we will thank you for what you did. The same way we thank those during the civil rights movement, the same way we thank those that have gone out in the streets before for something good. It's a beautiful thing. All right. You guys were wondering where Ursula's been. Well, 9:47, she gonna tell you. But up next, did you struggle to watch the Mariners game this weekend? Now, I'm about to go get some more coffee because I've been getting emotional all day about this topic. We got to talk about how to watch the Mariners. Do that next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
How would you like to finally lose all those unwanted pounds quickly without spending thousands on painful injections or prescriptions? Hi, it's Donna Simpson, health and wellness expert. You probably know someone that is using Ozempic, the hottest diet craze in the country. Everyone knows about this prescription injection. Celebs use it to look their best. The problem is most of us can't afford Ozempic, and these injections can be so uncomfortable. Now you can lose the weight just as easily, but with no needles, no expensive prices, no side side effects and no worries. You need to try Lozempic, a new miracle weight loss breakthrough that performs so well it's being called nature's Ozempic. Lozempic is an easy-to-take diet pill now available without a prescription, being used by thousands to get rid of those unwanted pounds. So call now and find out how to get a free bottle.
To find out how to get your free bottle of Lozempic, call 800-631-7101, 800-631-7101. Free bottles are limited, so call 800-631-7101. That's 800-631-7101.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive. That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app. Upside? Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive. Does that actually add up to anything? Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app. Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Your old water heater's starting to peter. DayandNight.net. Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Day 32 of the war with Iran, and President Donald Trump has threatened a major escalation.
President Trump is escalating pressure on Iran after attacks on Israeli and regional energy facilities, telling the New York Post a U.S. response could come soon. He says Washington will know within a week whether Iran's parliament speaker is willing to negotiate. He also claimed Iran has had a total regime change, and those in power now may be more willing to talk. He threatened strikes on Iran's energy infrastructure if no agreement is reached. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, the White House.
And correspondent Elizabeth Palmer reports on how everyday Iranians are feeling.
People have given up on regime change and are very afraid about what their future looks like without having any control over what it might be. People who were previously in favor of this attack in the hopes that there would be a new government at the end of it have lost hope.
TSA officers could see paychecks going out as soon as today. That's after President Donald Trump issued an executive order on Friday to reallocate some funding and pay them. CBS News correspondent Nicole Killian reports from Capitol Hill on what comes next in the Senate.
What we are watching today is to see whether or not the Senate will consider that. Because they are on recess, they have these sessions that are called pro forma sessions, where they typically are very perfunctory, nothing much happens, or about 2 to 3 minutes. But it's possible that Republicans could try to bring up this House bill, but any one senator can object, namely a Democrat.
Big transit news locally this weekend.
3, 2, 1.
Sound Transit's Cross Lake connection is open, connecting the north-south one line from Seattle to the east side. And in Bellingham, crews have been working to reopen I-5 northbound after a landslide on the 19th. They've been removing trees, stabilizing the slope, and breaking apart boulders as big as school buses to clear it all up. Now we're going to check on your drive. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. And I-5 northbound getting into Seattle, still a few issues. Just south of Albro Place, there's a collision partially blocking the right lane. And also near there's the HOV lane closed for maintenance work. So that's definitely a distraction. Federal Way to Seattle, now 26 minutes, so not too bad. Linwood to Seattle in the southbound direction, 38 minutes. Linwood to Bellevue, 405 southbound, that's going to cost you 41 minutes. 405 northbound still hitting some snags. It's 29 minutes Renton to Bellevue. That's partially because of a disabled vehicle partially blocking the right lane at Northeast 44th Street. This report brought to you by Global Credit Union. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. And your forecast today, staying dry, high of 52. Hardly believe that after the icy morning. Mostly cloudy tomorrow to high of 58. It's 36 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Monday to all of you. Now, how are the Mariners doing? Because I was so out of it this past week that I really haven't been following.
Yeah, better than the Rockies.
Well, that's not hard.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're doing okay. They're doing well.
They won 2.
Okay.
They lost 2. So the Mariners season is going. They played against the Cleveland Guardians.
Yes.
Wish they could have won the series, but they could have won 3 games and only lost 1. They lost the first game, which was the home opener, the opening day. First of all, it was fantastic being out there. Lost that one, but hey, they're fine. Nothing's hurt. Cal Raleigh is a little bit of a slump, but then again, he started off last season in a slump. So nothing there. As far as the Mariners and the baseball team, that's not my problem
Right now, the problem is how to watch the Mariners game.
Yeah. I mean,
So what
and
is
that's
happening?
so what is happening is this. There is massive confusion on how to watch it. 1. 2, how to watch it has been brought up right before the season starts. This would have been good if we'd have been talking about this during the off season. Maybe it comes up on the Gee and Ursula Show and we talk about those things in preparation. The problem is there is absolutely zero consideration for people that are on fixed incomes. There's zero considerations for people that are on low-income households at all. And let me give you a real example. On Friday, if you watched the Mariners, it was on Apple TV.
Okay. I've never used Apple TV, by the way.
On Saturday, if you watched the Mariners, it was on Mariners TV. On Sunday, if you watched the Mariners, it was on Peacock. So 3 different streaming subscriptions, people on social media confused.
Yes.
And the problem is this. This is straight up exclusion to the sport. Sport it always has been a thing that has brought all of us together, no matter your income, no matter what's going on. Even back then, I get it. Today, they make it really expensive for people to attend games. I hate that, but I get it. That's what's happening. But local content, if your local team is on TV, Ursula, I believe this collective. And by the way, this wasn't just here. It was other places that were going through the same thing. But if you're watching your local team, it should be free, period. Sully tells a story about him was watching a game at a bar, and he's watching the Mariners on Peacock on his phone while NCAA tournament and all this other stuff is going on. So this is the biggest problem, and I see where this is going. Pretty soon, live sports, period, won't belong to all fans. It will belong to the people who can pay the most, and that's garbage. We should all be
It's true.
pissed off about it.
Yeah, so, and I know you're really riled up about it. Peggy in Olympia said, I spent 45 minutes chatting with Xfinity, and they couldn't figure out how to add Mariners TV. I figured out on my own that I have to upgrade to the most expensive package to get it, which is more than $20 a month. Then after missing 80% of Game 1, Game 2, and 4 were different channels, Mariners TV isn't what it promised to be. Now, this is all happening because of contracts, because of deals. This is that.
At the end of the day, it's money. It always comes down to money.
Well, and a big part of it, too, is the regional sports networks closed as well. So Major League Baseball
picking up the broadcast rights for basically every team. There's a couple exceptions there, but that's why it's Mariners.tv, is because it's going through the MLB. And so they were figuring those things out. Like G was mentioning, there wasn't information and stuff. They were figuring out deals and local deals and everything up until right before first pitch. I don't think people knew how they could watch on their cable subscription until I would say less than 24 hours.
The day of, they were releasing the channels on Xfinity.
That's a poor rollout.
Now, there's an announcement that just came this morning. King 5 is going to be airing. They're going to bring 10 regular season games to the fans on the air for free. Also, just so we're clear, you can always go over to our sister station, Seattle Sports, right? And you can hear Rick Riz in his final season. You can hear him all the time. But I just want to say this. This, for me, Ursula, is something that I'm just like, this keeps me up at night. This is a microcosm of what's going on everywhere.
Yeah.
You can apply this topic that we're talking about to absolutely everything that we've been discussing.
Feels like it's getting more and more exclusionary.
That's it. I mean,
you have to have money.
And so what ends up happening? Like, do people understand how important sports have been in this country? Do you know what sports has really brought, the barriers that it has happened to bring down because of sports? And so when you have folks like not being able to watch, like if you guys are thinking about sports, you think about times you watched it with your grandpa or your dad or your mom or your aunt. Those special moments are taken away. And so then there will people that'll say, well, I can watch my own sports. I know how to do it all. Good for you. Good for you being able to watch all the sports.
But I will encourage you, though, if you are just done with it, you should be doing it anyway. 710 Seattle Sports, as you mentioned, Rick Riz's last season. And there's something to be said about using your imagination as you're listening to it on the radio.
Baseball on the radio is the best. I probably actually listen to more games on the radio than I actually watch, because there's just something about the atmosphere of baseball, and especially when you got someone like Rick that can paint the scene for you.
Like today when I talk about this topic, I talk about people on fixed incomes.
Oh yeah.
Right now, just specifically. And I talk about the people who don't have much room at the end of the month. Mm-hmm. And I talk about the folks that there used to be a time that you watch all of this baseball and you could have it on in your house and everything. Might be struggling, but you got something in common.
Yes.
You got your favorite team. So you got to take that away. So now that person on fixed income is like, well, I guess I can't be watching. So now they don't watch that. They might potentially have family members that don't visit them. Already social media has become what it has been, where everybody's doing that. Nobody calls people anymore.
True that.
Right? Oh, matter of fact, you go to the checkout in the store, you got a machine that's self-checkout. Like, we are truly losing the connection with people. Why? So the people at the top can continue to make more money. At some point, Major League Baseball, stand for something and come out and say, hey, our game, if it's local, your team, you watch for free, period. Coming up next here on the Gee Ursula Show, we're going to find out where Ursula been. You guys heard, like, where's she at? What happened? You guys ain't going to believe this. Stick around. Next, Gee Ursula.
The NBA takes its biggest step yet to bringing the Sonics back to Seattle.
The NBA Board of Governors has officially greenlit a deeper look at expansion to Seattle.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey has been following this.
Amanda, what a huge story for the city.
Speculation is that it's going to be 28-29 that season.
Stay plugged into the very latest at mynorthwest.com.
I'm super excited for the jobs, the restaurants.
And KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
We are on a magic carpet ride!
Hi, Sarah here with Safeway. We're proud to partner with Champions of Change co-founder Doug Baldwin to help nourish Washington students through the Nourishing Champions program.
Thanks, Sarah. And here's the reality. Every day, students across our state are staying after school for extracurriculars on empty stomachs, and some of them don't know where their next meal will come from. Food insecurity is reaching crisis levels, and the impact on our youth will extend far beyond this moment. The good news is that there's an answer in the federally funded after-school meals programs. But right now, Washington schools' participation is very low, reaching only 2% of the students who qualify.
That's where Nourishing Champions comes in. We're offering grants that not only fund food, but also resource and training support for the schools to offer an after-school meal program for years to come.
Our goal is to reach 10,000 more students in the first year of these grants and then grow from there. School staff can learn more and apply today at championsofchangefoundation.org and navigating to the Nourishing Champions tab. That's championsofchangefoundation.org and click on the Nourishing Champions tab.
You didn't work hard to watch your retirement unravel. You saved, you sacrificed, you built something meaningful for yourself and for your family. Hi, I'm elder law attorney Rajiv Nagaich. I've seen what happens when unexpected health events collide with traditional retirement plans. Savings that took decades to build drains away faster than anyone expected. At LifePoint Law, we help you build a life plan to help you protect your assets and way of life. If you are retired or thinking about retiring, now is the time to double-check your retirement plan.
Retirement doesn't have to feel like a gamble. With straightforward planning and clear answers, LifePoint Law replaces fear with clarity. But only if you start now. Attend the next seminar. This Saturday in Bothell, April 7th in Bremerton, the 9th in Olympia, or the 11th in Federal Way. Seats are limited. Sign up now at lifepointlaw.com. Visit lifepointlaw.com.
This is Lynn. She's always been active, maybe a little too active back in the day.
When I was 19 years old and immortal, I stripped out on my ligament and I had to have 6 knee surgeries, and that's on my right knee. And then my left knee finally gave out and had a torn meniscus.
Years of pain followed until she saw Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's a miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I want to do.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Hey, everybody. Happy Monday to all of you. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. That's right. Everybody's here. Ursula is back. So now, you've been asking, and you waited. You like, well, wait a minute. Where was Ursula? What happened? What happened?
Okay, so remember last Monday, we were talking about the cherry blossoms. Both you and I had gone there on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And on Monday, I was feeling a pain in my left lower leg, and I was like...
And you showed me.
Yeah. And I was like, I feel like I got a bite, like a spider bite or something.
Yeah.
And it was just really painful to touch, but that was it. And I was like, okay, I've had that before, and hopefully it'll just go away.
Right.
But come Tuesday, it's now even redder and darker, and it's now spreading. And I'm thinking... okay, I shouldn't feel this lousy. I was still at work. I came to work, but I felt awful. And so Tuesday after the show, I made an appointment and I went to urgent care.
Right.
And actually, it so happened that my doc was working that day, so they were able to have me see my doctor or my nurse practitioner. And so she got me on an antibiotic. Not the toughest one, but basically Bactrim, because I'm allergic to another form that she would have put me on right away. And on Wednesday, I was like, no, I had to call in sick. I was feverish. My leg was so tight that it felt like someone was stabbing my leg. When I had any sort of weight on it, I could not walk. So I took myself back to the doctor's office, and she put me on 2 drugs now. She said, yeah, you should have started feeling better already, even within 24 hours. And we were still assuming, okay, maybe it's, but she said, it's cellulitis, which can be caused by a spider bite. It can be caused by a whole number of things. Anyway, that just means skin infection, serious bacterial infection of the skin. So bacteria, your skin surface is broken, and there's bacteria now, and it's spreading, and it can potentially be life-threatening if you don't take care of it. So, of course, I'm now really worried. So now it's on Thursday, I am even worse, and I go to the ER. So now I'm at the ER, and basically the doc there says, yes, this is cellulitis. He says, I don't think it is a spider bite. And we started talking about other things. He thinks it's because I shaved my legs on Sunday. Remember, you know how I love my long, hot baths?
Yeah.
I had taken a nice long hot bath and I had shaved my legs, and that combined with the fact that I'd come back from the Philippines and my skin was, some of it was already peeling off. There was probably a tiny nick that, maybe there was bacteria on my there's bacteria everywhere, and it was enough to get into my leg and cause this thing that I'm telling you. Besides my C-section and before I had to go get my gallbladder removed, that was the pain. It was like pain of level of 11
on the leg,
on my leg. There's no way you can make that feel any better, right?
So it was like a throbbing type
stabbing.
Feeling, or like a stabbing.
Yeah, like it was awful.
Yeah,
and so. At the risk of giving too much information, but I'm hoping this information helps people, because I should have gone on the much more serious antibiotics. Sometimes they just put IV. I was like, by the time I'm at the ER, I'm thinking, Doc, why don't you just give me the IV antibiotics? But he said he thought the growth, because what we did was we drew in pen the area of my infection. I mean, it was like the size of a large dinner plate. And I have a picture of it on the Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page where you can see, like, there's the center of it. That was before the ER doc actually got in and cut it open, basically.
They had to cut you.
So he used a scalpel, but that was after he injected. He pulled, because they wanted to do testing on what it was, because you also have to make sure, like, people were talking about MRSA, so they were able to rule out MRSA, but it was, definitely a a bad infection, and he thought that the antibiotics that I was on were doing their thing, and he didn't want to go to the next level. But he did open it up so that it could start releasing.
Okay. So
I'm trying to not be overly graphic, but basically once that happened, it started healing a lot faster. He was correct.
Okay. Real quick, because folks still got to shave their legs. You feel me? So what can people do to prevent this?
Well, first of all, if you see, sometimes you're just really unlucky, but one of the things I will now stop doing is I'm just not going to shave my legs like I used to, like being in a hot bath like that, and then not having a fresh, it wasn't a brand new razor. Okay. So, those are things that you can do to prevent it. Try to avoid nicks. There's just certain things, now that I've had it, apparently I'm more susceptible to getting this kind of thing happen again.
Okay.
My son had cellulitis when he was young, and we had to hospitalize him at Children's. So, bottom line would be make sure you get it checked right away. Don't think of it as like, oh, that's just nothing. That's just a bug bite. If it's hot and hurting and you're having a fever, you need to get treated.
Hot. Okay.
Yeah, you need to get treated right away. Okay. If you already also have a weakened immune system, you're more apt to get one.
All right. Well, glad to have you back. Glad
Thank
you're
you.
okay.
But the one thing I want to say, and I hear the music, but I just want to say that for everybody who was giving me advice and love on the Facebook page, I just want to say thank you, because I know that a lot of people don't have that kind of support, and that was just a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Okay, Ursula, 10 o'clock, we're going to be talking with someone who spoke at the No Kings rally.
Yes.
Right? We're going to bring him in. You guys have heard him before. He's been on our show. And we will introduce, again, Mike Washington. He joins us next. Gee Ursula.
Best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. For a limited time, we'll pay the sales tax. That's right, we'll discount all new orders the cost of the sales tax on the project. Call today and let one of our pros come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Hey homeowners, are you stuck on the credit card treadmill and stressed because your consumer debt and monthly payments are too high? Well, Brock Hewitt here with a smart solution. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage to consolidate your high-balance credit cards, second mortgages, home equity lines of credit, and student loans, or get cash for a remodel. With interest rates finally coming down, consolidating your debt now may be the best decision you ever make. With excellent client reviews and trusted in Washington for over 25 years, Tila has competitive rates on refinance, purchase, or reverse mortgages too. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call Tila Mortgage today, 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888, or
Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in one day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Voted best of Western Washington. Ranked #1 senior living community in America. Aegis Living, Washington's most luxurious assisted living and memory care. Schedule a tour today at aegisliving.com/KIRO and get a special take-home gift. Aegis Living. This must be the place.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Trump put Iran on notice with a new round of threats after Tehran attacked Israel's biggest oil refinery.
President Trump is escalating pressure on Iran after attacks on Israeli and regional energy facilities, telling the New York Post a U.S. response could come soon. He says Washington will know within a week whether Iran's parliament speaker is willing to negotiate. He also claimed Iran has had a total regime change, and those in power now may be more willing to talk. He threatened strikes on Iran's energy infrastructure if no agreement is reached. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, the White House.
Correspondent Holly Williams says Iran has fired back in the war of words as the U.S. hints at possible ground action.
A spokesman for Iran's powerful Revolutionary Guards did not mince words. He said any American ground troops who enter Iran will be taken captive, dismembered, and end up as food for the sharks in the Persian Gulf.
The UN says 3 of its peacekeepers have been killed in southern Lebanon over the past 24 hours. Now to Washington, CBS's Nicole Killian says there's no deal to end the partial government shutdown, but attention is now on the Senate.
What we are watching today is to see whether or not the Senate will consider that. Because they are on recess, they have these sessions that are called pro forma sessions, where they typically are very perfunctory, nothing much happens, or about 2 to 3 minutes. But it's possible that Republicans could try to bring up this House bill, but any one senator can object, namely a Democrat.
The TSA security line crisis at many airports appears to be easing. A Trump order promises TSA staffers their first paychecks in weeks. CBS's Jason Allen's at Houston's airport, which has been hard hit.
These lines have continuously been moving. We saw that yesterday as well. The last day of really, really long lines was on Saturday, so it does start to look like we're seeing continued improvement here.
Air Canada says its CEO, Michael Rousseau, plans to retire. He'd faced criticism over an English-only condolence message after the deadly crash last week at New York's LaGuardia Airport. CBS's Peter King is covering this week's planned launch of NASA's first moon mission since 1972.
The crew has been at the Cape since Friday, and if all goes as planned, Artemis 2 will fly the 4 astronauts around the far side of the moon on a 9-day mission to test some of the hardware to be used in landing there, perhaps in 2 years.
And checking Wall Street, a rally is fading a bit. The Dow's still up 262, the S&P up 10. This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here?
How is this possible?
Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60 Minutes.
A legal showdown over the new Millionaire's tax that's about to be signed right now. We'll tell you all about it in just a moment. But first, KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, and we're looking not too shabby for a Monday. Federal Way to Seattle, 25 minutes. That's 3 minutes longer than a speed limit drive. Linwood to Seattle in the southbound direction, 23 minutes. Slowing starts from about 145th, and it's very thick through Northgate. I don't know that there's any real explanation for that. I guess that's where it really starts to get thick before the Ship Canal slowing, but it looks a little bit extra tough. So I wonder if there's a collision there that I'm not seeing. And it just popped up on the map. Yes, it is. Northeast 65th. And southbound I-5, there is a collision blocking a lane there, and that is part of what's causing that thick backup. Lake bridges are clear, though. 405 northbound is close to a speed limit drive. Renton to Bellevue, 25 minutes. Linwood to Bellevue, 33 minutes. This report brought to you by KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Right now, Washington is headed for a legal showdown as Governor Bob Ferguson is poised to sign the new income tax on millionaires into law. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey says a newly announced lawsuit call is being led by former Attorney General Rob Ferguson.
McKenna and the Citizen Action Defense Fund called the 9.9% millionaires tax unconstitutional. Jackson Maynard with the fund says they'll officially file a suit this week.
The Constitution is really clear and has been clear as interpreted by case law for the last 100 years.
Supporters say the $3.5 billion revenue from the tax will fund affordability issues from health care and high rents to education and school lunches. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
A woman has died and another was hospitalized after a shooting outside a home in Tacoma. Christina Tate lives down the street and tells KIRO 7 TV there were bullet casings all over the street.
I was surprised at how many markers I saw, but I didn't recognize the fact that there was also a shooting farther down the road that was associated to this.
No arrests yet. If you know anything, call police. Police in Oak Harbor are warning the public about a man they say is armed, dangerous, and has multiple felony warrants for his arrest. In February, investigators say 39-year-old James Mathis assaulted his wife. He was able to escape when officers tried to arrest him. Heads up, Snohomish County. You'll see a larger police presence around vacant buildings in Marysville and Arlington today. They're using the former Liberty Elementary and Arlington High School campuses, plus a hotel in Smoky Point to run drills with police dogs. And there's a new documentary coming out about former Mariner Ken Griffey Jr. Not his Hall of Fame baseball career, his second career as a photographer for Getty Images.
I get some doors open because of who I am, but I take what I do very seriously. I hope so too.
It's called Photographer 24 and premieres Sunday on Peacock. Now let's check your weather. It is mostly sunny today, a high of 52 after that really chilly morning. Mostly cloudy tomorrow. It's 36 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, y'all. Happy Monday. The month of April is coming up. I just want to give a quick shout out to anybody, the horoscope. If you're an Aries, shout out to you. The best sign in astrology is Aries. Just want to say that. Bring
And
that up.
the best decade is the 5th decade of life, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Coming up. I think it's going to be.
Are you adjusting to that whole idea of turning 50?
Oh, in the most. Yes. Like this, like to the point where I really believe like the 50s, me becoming, I can feel it. I
Yeah.
can feel it the way I think about
It's
things.
one of the best decades, honestly.
I believe y'all. A lot of y'all told me this.
Yeah.
Shout out to them 50s. Them 50s. All right, so what's happening?
Okay, well, first of all, I want to just remind everybody our Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is open for you. 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
What's new at 10?
And as we've been telling you this weekend, tens of thousands of people showed up across Washington for those No Kings rallies. Perhaps you took part in one, and if you did, text us and tell us about that. One of the most powerful voices did not come from a politician at one of these rallies. It came from someone who has lived service and sacrifice in a very real way. Mike Washington is a Gold Star father, a retired Marine, a former Seattle firefighter. He is a friend of the show. He's joined us in the past, and I found out over the weekend that he was speaking at the rally in Olympia, and we asked Mike to join us right now. Good morning.
Good morning, Ursula. Are you okay?
I know. He did text me last week, and yes, I am okay. Yes.
Okay,
if you want to hear
good,
the whole
good.
story, listen to 947.
Okay, will do.
But, okay, about Saturday, I mean, you have worn the uniform, you've served our community, you've paid the ultimate price as a Gold Star father. What made you feel like you needed to speak out at this moment?
Well, I think when that person in the White House got elected, there was a collective heartbreak. And I know I talked to Gee about it, and Shep, and you, and everybody else. And once we get past that, we got to start moving forward. We got to do the things that we can do. I don't have a lot of talent, but I can get involved. I can find my why. And once I linked up with these various groups that I'm working with, they invited me to speak at the rally, and I just put it out to the audience. You need to find your why. We need to get young people motivated, people of color motivated, and just move forward, because we can win. We can win. We will win, but we got to work hard.
Mike, when you were there and you spoke, fortunately during that time, can you give us at least one message that you hope that people in power got to hear yesterday? What's one thing that stood out to you?
That we're standing together. One of my opening lines was for us to look around and understand, look at all the different people that we have in the crowd, not just here, but around the country, around the world even, who are standing up today. So we are not the only ones feeling that anxiety that we're feeling every day with each new thing that they do. And so we're together. There's other people just like you, and we have to get together so we can make a difference.
And what was the vibe of the rally in Olympia? What stood out to you?
There was just a lot of joy. There was a lot of joy seeing, people, like-minded people, and knowing that we're just one rally amongst hundreds around the globe. And it was just very motivating. People were motivated by seeing other people come out there. I don't know what the numbers were. I've heard as many as 5,000 to 8,000.
In Olympia.
In Olympia, yeah. And so it just felt good to be able to look around and go, I'm not the only one. And whatever your why was, your why for being involved in this movement was represented there. So it's about finding your why. Why are you motivated? There could be 100 things. I know for me, there's 100 things. For some people, it's gas. This war and gas finally hit, and that's my why. Okay, I'll take it. But what I really like, though, is I'm starting to see Trump flags disappearing from neighborhoods. I'm liking that. I've seen that happening in my neighborhood, and so we're making a dent. We're moving forward, and we just got to keep the pressure on.
Everybody has their opinions on this No Kings rally that they're calling it, something that happened across the country, and some people are for it. But I want to talk about the folks that are against it. And I want to talk about that is because some look at the No Kings rally as being disruptive, right? What would you say to someone, let's just say I said it. Let's say I think this is disruptive. What would you say to that?
Well, I'd say, you know what? The Constitution guarantees your right to feel that way. And the Constitution guarantees your right to have a counter-protest, to say my protest is disruptive. And there was a counter-protest that focused mainly on the millionaire's tax across the street. And I think there was maybe about 50 people showed up for that. So you have that right. Mm-hmm. But if this is disruptive, then it's a good disruptive. Okay, this is the American people standing up and using their voices, their rights as guaranteed under law by the Constitution to get together and do this. And you said it earlier today, like we did in the 60s, getting together about civil rights in the Vietnam War and voicing our opinions in a peaceful, respectable manner. That's also the big part of it right there. Peaceful, respectable, law-abiding manner.
Mike, you have experienced personal loss with your son, Michael, who died in Afghanistan. Were you this active politically prior to that, or how has that shaped you?
Well, I wasn't, and I kind of felt because of my jobs, being in the Marine Corps and being in the fire department at the time. But yeah, I evoke his memory. He went to another country to try and protect rights and freedoms that we've taken for granted here. Now we're starting to see erode or under attack right now. So I stand up for his memory. I stand up for what he did and what he's unable to do right now. Although I can say he speaks through me. So, I do that. I do it for I have 5 granddaughters, one of whom's in the United States Army as we speak. And I want to be able to look them in the eye and say, I stood up. My Valerie and I, we fought the good fight. We did all the things we could do to make a difference in this world for them.
What would you say to someone who's listening right now who didn't go to a rally or who thinks that this is just purely performative, doesn't agree with it, but still cares about the country?
Now, I say find your why. Find the way that you care about the country and how you want to be able to express that. I also recommend that people go to a rally and experience it and feel it for themselves. It's easy to look on, get the little flash photos on the news and whatnot and on social media, but go and feel the energy that's there. See the people that you can look across and go, I identify with what that sign says. Oh, I identify with this group here. You'll find that at these rallies, and that's how we get a movement going. That's how we win. It starts off just like this.
Mike Washington, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Gee, as you know, you saw gas prices in the Bay Area. They have it worse than us.
I get it. Look, it's almost like when I post these things or I talk about them, it's like there's no way like people would believe me. And I had to pause. I'm down in San Francisco. And what first got my eye was the $7.90 for the diesel. Like that was first what got my eye. I said, whoa. Then I saw for the first time in my life, I saw $7 gas for their premium, $6.80 for regular, $6.90 for their plus, and $7. And I thought, okay, yes, it's crazy right now. Gas is outrageous. But it reminded me of years ago, 16, 17 years ago, when gas finally went over $3 here in Washington during the recession. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. And how we really never went back. If you guys remember that, we never went back. I mean, we essentially stayed in the late 3s and 4s. We've been hovering around there for some time now. And so when I think about this, and I'm like, okay, yes, it's outrageous. 3% oil is up right now. 3% on oil has gone up, and we're probably going to see higher prices. But is there a possibility that from here on out, we're going to continue paying $5? Like, even when this is done, and we don't know when that's going to be, like, this is outrageous. Like, I was just telling Paul and Nick, I said, the first time I pay over $5 a gallon, I'm going to make gas a big deal. And just to see that, and so we can say, well, that's just California. That's because of their taxes. Or in Washington, we got the taxes. Okay. Yes, we do have the outrageous tax. I agree. But that does not negate what is happening in our country when it has gone up $1. So anyways, I digress.
Right. Well, I mentioned that because obviously the war has led to roller coaster prices, but the Climate Commitment Act is often brought up as, hey, I mean, it's not just our state gas tax, which went up again, but also this additional Climate Commitment Act. And there have been calls to pause the CCA because it is controversial and people aren't really seeing the impacts of it. But so far, there is no plan for any kind of action. And the Seattle Times reports that Governor Ferguson has not responded to their request for comments, but spokespeople for Democratic legislative leaders say a gas tax holiday is not going to be on the table. And Senate and House Republicans said on Friday that they are not calling on Governor Ferguson to suspend the state's combined 59-cent per gallon tax. Now, I never thought that would be a possibility because so much of the budget is already built on that, the premise of that money being there.
Right.
But, I mean, we are getting hammered as a state with the third highest gas prices in the country and among the highest gas taxes. And then it is compounded with what is going on right now.
Right.
To which I ask, does that change the way that you are driving at all? I know you said the day that it happens, but have you changed since?
No, I haven't changed. And the reason why I haven't changed is because financially I'm in a position where I don't have to. And that's the part that's so heartbreaking, is because I know that there are people who maybe you have children, maybe you're on a fixed income, and this is really shaping the way you do things. This is making that decision to let your kids know, hey, let's say that dad gets their kids every other weekend, right? And when they get their kids, they can't do as much as they used to because of what's happening with gas. And with gas, when you have these fuel prices, when you have diesel being this high, well, these trucks take diesel that's bringing the food to the Safeways and the Albertsons. They take diesel. So what is that going to mean for our cost? We already had high groceries. So, yeah, I'm not changing anything, but that's not reason why I'm not upset about those things. Yeah. Like, I would not sit here and say, well, I have an electric car. And those things don't matter. I would love for there to be a pause on the Climate Commitment Act. I would love that. I would love that so much for
I feel like that would be just one little thing that could be done.
Yeah, but
I mean, the governor had talked about, tax holidays, which never ended up happening. But okay, one way that you could save on gas would be to take light rail. And did you see what happened over the weekend?
Big deal in light rail. Yeah.
After decades of planning, delays, debates about whether it was actually going to happen, light rail officially crossed Lake Washington, and riders who were using it for the first time were very excited.
You can take it to the airport, you can take it to Bellevue, you can get to a Mariners game and everything in between.
A train on a floating bridge that is an engineering marvel, as engineer Michael Abrams explained to KIRO 7 TV.
The floating bridge twists and moves up and down. So it's multiple motions that you have to design for.
Yeah. I saw in the Seattle Times that one rider said he'd been waiting his whole life for this. Another flew in from London just to see this. I mean, you got to be really into trains.
I feel bad because when we first talked about it, you brought it up, and I was just like, oh, is this a big deal? About this whole thing. And I guess I wasn't excited because, look, I was excited when I moved here 27 years ago and saw the floating bridge for the first time. I thought, wow, that was cool. So I guess I need to go check it out and go see what it's all about. The whole idea of getting from Bellevue to Seattle in a matter of 10 minutes. That's pretty cool. So I need to go and ride it.
Trains during peak times, trains running every 8 minutes.
None of you guys have rode it yet, right?
I didn't ride the new rail.
Not across Lake Washington.
Yeah, I'm talking about the new one.
I would happily ride it. I mean, honestly, when I think about getting over there.
Guess what? I just thought about it. I'm going to do it this weekend.
There you go,
Yes, I'm going to go do it. A field trip this weekend, riding across. There we go.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to go pull up. Guess where I'm going to go start at? I should go start in Mercer Island. Because Mercer Island,
they're the big winners.
I thought you guys don't want nobody riding through there.
They've fought light rail for years, but now they might have the best stop in the entire system. 10 minutes, both downtown Seattle and downtown Bellevue.
Mercer Island, you guys are welcoming? Oh, I love it.
Susan in Briar said, took light rail, fantastic experience. Yes.
Yeah. Just had a text in. So this is what I'm talking about right here. There's a text from the 206. And so when we're talking about gas prices and everything, when you know that there are people, they text in and says, I'm on a fixed income and I'm not going to be able to go see my grandkids this Easter because of the gas prices. And they just live up there in Burlington. That is the stuff that we should all be concerned with when it comes to these things. And I just hope that there is an end in sight, because this is, I mean, Ursula, if there's a potential of this getting close, like let's just start with $6. Even we saw $6 down in California, down there in San Francisco. But to see that potentially happening here in the state of Washington, it's outrageous.
Yeah, on a state and federal level, We have to do better.
Yep. Okay. Scenarios at 1047. Question for you. Do you think that malls, shopping malls, do you think they're struggling? Because it seems like some malls are struggling and some malls aren't. Here's the homework assignment. I need you to text in 888-973-5476. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. What makes a mall not struggle? What are the key ingredients that malls need? We need to figure this out because something's up. Some are struggling, some aren't. We'll do it next. Gee Ursula.
The NBA takes its biggest step yet to bringing the Sonics back to Seattle.
The NBA Board of Governors has officially greenlit a deeper look at expansion to Seattle.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey has been following this.
Amanda, what a huge story for the city.
Speculation is that it's going to be 28-29 that season.
Stay plugged into the very latest at mynorthwest.com.
I'm super excited for the jobs, the restaurants.
And KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
We are on a magic carpet ride!
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
When it comes to financial planning, women often face different realities. For some, years were spent caregiving or raising children. Others were growing careers. Yet so often, investments and tax decisions were set aside or handled by someone else. And statistically, women live longer. Over the next 20 years, trillions will transfer to women, only after the loss of a spouse. And suddenly, they're expected to make these complex decisions alone. That's why I created Growing Her Wealth. I'm Danielle Meister, a wealth advisor at Madrona Financial and CPAs. This initiative was built to empower women and integrate investments, tax strategy, and estate planning all under one roof. This is for men as well, husbands and wives, to ensure a coordinated long-term plan. It's about elevating family stewardship. If you or someone you love wants thoughtful guidance in a professional, supportive environment, join me at an upcoming seminar or webinar. Visit growingherwealth.com to reserve your seat today. Growing Her Wealth, financial confidence on your terms.
Madrona Financial Services is an SEC registered investment advisor.
Washington's lottery gives out a lot of green to winners in schools and retailers awesomely. Nearly 600 mil to people that play. Another 180 mil to vocational training and education from preschool to college. Now you got the knowledge, a win-win for all of us. Play Washington lottery, lottery, lottery. Play Washington lottery, lottery, yeah.
Visit walllottery.com. Who benefits to learn more.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
Your old water heater's starting to peter.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Aetna has been my lifesaver. Easy to understand, and if not, customer service is always there to help.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up with care management that ensures doctors work together on complicated conditions. We show up with the latest in online tools to make healthcare easier to use anytime. We show up for you because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery, and it is official as of just a few minutes ago. Washington now has an income tax.
Yep. Covered all. Wonderful. All right, excellent. And now it's time to hold this wonderful bill up. Give a round of applause for everybody on their hard work on this legislation. Thank you. We did it, everybody.
Governor Bob Ferguson signed the bill into law, which taxes income over $1 million. Legal challenges are already being prepared. And the Supreme Court is expected this week to take up birthright citizenship.
They signed an order that will end birthright citizenship for the children of illegal aliens.
The court set a precedent in 1898 when Wong Kim Ark, a man born in America to Chinese immigrant parents, successfully argued that his citizenship was guaranteed under the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. Norman Wong is his great-grandson.
We need to get America on the right track where people care for each other. If we're going to live as a people, we're going to die as one people.
The president has argued the law is interpreted too broadly. Hundreds of U.S. Special Operations Forces are now in the Middle East. Here's CBS's Stacey Lynn at the White House.
That includes Navy SEALs and Army Rangers who are now there alongside thousands of Marines and Army paratroopers. Sources tell CBS News the buildup gives President Trump more military options against Iran, including securing key shipping routes and targeting strategic assets.
Washington just set an all-time record for diesel prices. The statewide average hit $6.56 a gallon this week. Unleaded is $5.33 statewide, just pennies away from the all-time record of $5.56 set back in June of 2022. Gas Buddy analysts told Seattle's Morning News this morning oil markets do not like uncertainty. Now we're going to check on your drive, KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, and we're pretty much a speed limit drive anywhere you want to go. There's a little bit of slowing I-5 southbound through that Ship Canal construction zone, but it's not too bad. It starts in Northgate. We had a few collisions on I-5. Those are cleared. Lake bridges are clear. 405, just a tiny snag through the S-curves, and that's pretty much it. This report brought to you by Bradley Johnson Lawyers and 1-800-DUI-AWAY, serving the Pacific Northwest for over 30 years with hundreds of 5-star reviews. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. And we're going to stay clear today. High of 52, mostly cloudy tomorrow and a high of 58. It's 36 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. It is 10:33. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476 888-973 KIRO. Question for you, G. When was the last time you were at a mall?
Saturday.
That's right, because you actually stopped at Whole Foods too. I saw you posted.
I was down. Yeah, I was down in San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
That Whole Foods story. So much so I had to take it down because I don't. That Whole Foods story. Maybe I'll tell that another time.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay.
But yeah, I was on Saturday. I was at the mall, so I was there Friday in the mall, and I was Saturday at the mall.
And was it packed? Was it dead?
It was packed.
Okay.
And I was walking around, and I'm like, man, this mall is happening. I was like, oh man, I mean, it's not Bellevue Mall, right? And not South Center Mall, but it was still packed. Mm-hmm. And I was just thinking, man, I wonder what makes a mall be packed or not. And then Paul brings this topic to us.
Yes, because in fact, the New York Times looked into it because there are a couple of malls that are still thriving, even though there is the narrative and the data that suggests that the mall is dead. And we talk about this off on this because I am still a brick and mortar kind of gal. If I can go physically to a store, I'm going to go there. So I love going to Bell Square. I love going to South Center Mall. I love going to Alderwood. And I do love going to U Village, which is the one that's closest to me. And those all seem to have great business. But apparently Gen Z is starting to embrace in-person shopping. Is this true? Paul?
Yeah, that's what the New York Times is saying. One of the biggest drivers for these malls is that Gen Z is turning to retail shopping. And they reference a couple of stores in New York. Now, it's still kind of focusing on these high-end, high-price.
Okay.
It's still kind of those stores are the ones.
They looked at some Simon Property Group, which formerly owned the former Northgate Mall.
Yeah, I saw a quick Google. It says I think they're involved with Northgate Station specifically, and they just announced Northgate Station just announced 4 new restaurants going into the bottom of their.
So here's a thing that stood out to me because I asked you all to text in what makes a mall, what helps it be successful. The Commons down there in Fedway, right off 320th, that thing is struggling.
Yeah.
Tacoma Mall, that thing is struggling.
Is it? Because someone said it was not so struggling. Yeah, so maybe it was one good day.
That thing is struggling. South Hill Mall, oh my goodness, struggling. What stood out to me, and this is what needs to happen first. On this show, when we talk about food, when I talk about food, I love food, okay? But when you have a food court that makes you lose your appetite, some of these malls have food courts that make you lose your appetite. You guys know, I'm not going to bring the business up. It's that same pizza place, the little you go get the chicken with the little toothpicks in it. You got that?
That's good.
You got
the hot dog on a stick.
The hot dog on a stick. You just got some nasty stuff. So one thing that I saw in San Francisco is you actually had some trendy spots in there, and they were the young, the Pauls and Nicks. They were in there. That's one.
Yeah.
2, another thing that stood out about this mall is the reason why I went to the mall in the first place is because I worked out at the LA Fitness and I went right next door to the Whole Foods and I was like, oh.
It needs to be one-stop shopping.
It's a mall.
Yeah.
So put big anchors. Yes, I know Nordstrom's and Macy's and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You need a big store. You need a movie theater. Those are the things that are important. Good restaurants, like restaurants that you actually want to be a part of. So big name brands, those things. And right now, Bellevue, South Center, and you guys say Alderwood. I haven't been to Alderwood in a second.
The times I've gone, it seems pretty
every time I've gone to the Alderwood Mall, it's got a good. The Lego stores even had to prevent people from going in because they got too many people from going in sometimes.
Is that right?
JOV and Puyallup, we're not arguing about this, bro. South Hill Mall is struggling. It's struggling. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, and when you say struggling, it's because there are a lot of empty.
I mean, it's just they don't have the foot traffic. And by the way,
Yeah, because if they're struggling that bad, they're going to shut down because mall property is expensive.
Just so we're clear, y'all, I don't know many people that shop for clothes more than me. Okay?
True.
I used to be a mall goer. I used to go to the mall a lot, right? So I am someone that if you lose me, then what? So the only time I go to the mall is I got to make a trip. I got to get my passport and everything to go to Bellevue.
Yeah.
And I don't go to South Center Mall.
Uh-huh. I go to South Center Mall.
Yeah, I don't go to South Center.
I go to the Joey's down there.
You know who's doing a good job, though, is the Outlet Collection in Auburn, because they've been keeping up with the times and they get new stores in, they remodel their food court. But to your point with the South Mall, it feels like you're in there from like 20, 30 years ago. It just feels like they're not trying to keep up with anything, not trying to renovate or upgrade stores or change anything at all.
But you're right, Nick. Now, I'm going to tell you, wait a minute. I don't mean to bag on South Hill. By the way, South Hill, shout out to you because you guys are doing something that was really smart. Now, I go to the Costco right there by that South Hill. That's where I'm at. But Ursula, guess what they are bringing in?
What?
They're bringing in a big Asian store. That thing.
Help.
Let's go.
Yeah, know your market.
Oh, you know your market. That is going to bring people to that parking lot. Now,
is it another Wajimaya? Is that what it is? Or
yes, I think. No, I think.
Or is it H Mart? Those are the two I know.
It's not any of those because I just went to H Mart yesterday. I think there's a Wajimaya that's going to be coming over in Tacoma. I got to figure out. I got to look at the name of the big.
We'll look it up.
Big one that's
during
going to be
break.
coming.
Well, okay, so. One of the things that this New York Times thing looked at, though, is that the top 100 malls in the country account for 50% of the entire sector's value. The bottom 350 make up just 10%. And so there's still a bunch of distressed malls. I mean, I get sad. I still get sad about the fact that we don't have Northgate Mall, although what has replaced it, the whole hockey arena there, and now you're saying more restaurants are going in. Okay, that's good news. Now I think they just need to get a few more stores in there.
Yeah, there's no real shop. Not a lot.
No,
I used to live
Target.
over in Northgate, and it's like, you hit the Target and the Best Buy in that one area, but kind of close to the Kraken complex. It's just like the Chipotle and the Verizon store, and that's kind of it.
You know who's really doing it right is the Bellevue Square Mall. They have their whole thing going, and aside from the stores and the restaurant, you feel like it's an amusement. They got even the Christmas time. They got the big tree up there. They even have a pianist sometimes playing music out there. It feels like you're in an indoor city when you go.
Oh, their holiday shows that the not Candy Cane Lane, but the.
Well, that's fun too.
Snowflake Lane.
Yeah.
I just looked it up, Ursula.
What's that?
Oh, it's going down. South Hill Asian Center. They got the Hong Kong market. That's going to be right there in Puyallup. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I'm going to be there consistently all the time. This is going to be a big deal. I want to give a shout out to Bill in Marysville because Bill in Marysville says, hey, bring back Orange Julius. Coincidence? Thank you, Bill. Bill, that's just, come on.
That's some 90s vibes to me right there.
Hey,
Sabara Pizza.
The mall still has Orange Julius. Hey, some of us are okay with the Orange Julius.
Give me the Auntie Anne's pretzels. That's what I need.
Yeah.
I know. See, Gee's just foo-foo. He wants the fancy dancy.
Give me my mouth pretzel.
The chicken on the toothpicks?
Yeah.
I have to almost eat there every single time I'm at the mall.
I can't stand
You a
it.
kebab girl?
I can't stand it.
It's Japanese food.
It smells the same. And again, if your food court makes me lose my appetite, something's wrong. All right. Hey, coming up next on the Gee Ursula Show, let's get to scenarios.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM. This is a test of your emergency alert system.
Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. For a limited time, we'll pay the sales tax. That's right, we'll discount all new orders the cost of the sales tax on the project. Call today and let one of our pros come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Insulation rebates from PSE are at historic highs. American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $3 million in PSE insulation rebates last year, more than any contractor in Washington. Homeowners, business owners, and PSE trust American Crawl Space and Pest Services. Was your home built before 1990? Visit AmericanCrawl.com to see how much you can save on replacing your insulation.
American Crawl, the heroes you crawl.
Deep to right field. Going. Goodbye, baseball.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a view that's a real home run, check out right field. Make that the dump yard. Sure, it's a great spot to see our fearless outfielders fly, dive, and slide.
Wow! Victor Robles makes the catch!
But you might get to flash some leather too, because the forecast in the dump yard always calls for rain. Raining big dumper home runs, that is.
Number 60, the magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Be here for the Mariners opening homestand. The action continues this week with a star-powered showdown between Cal Raleigh and the crew against Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees. Tonight and tomorrow at 6:40, and wrapping up with a special midweek matinee Wednesday at 1:10. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Washington's lottery gives out a lot of green to winners in schools and retailers awesomely. Nearly 600 mil to people that play. Another 180 mil to vocational training and education from preschool to college. Now you got the knowledge, a win-win for all of us. Play Washington lottery. Play Washington lottery. Yeah.
Visit walottery.com. Who benefits to learn more.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Old windows cost you money and security. Lake Washington Windows and Doors installs energy-efficient, high-security windows that lower your bills and increase protection. With leak armor installation and lifetime warranties, you're protected for life. Choose LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It is Gee and Ursula. Let's get right to scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
I have a little bit of dilemma. And so I thought I would ask you all to help me with it. So before the end of last year, I had an employee that I terminated just before the holidays. It was for good cause, and actually, it should have happened a long time ago. Well, just now on my desk last week was a sealed envelope from this past employee that says, now I can tell you what I really think. I don't know what to do with it. On one hand, I could just shred it. On the other, maybe there's information that would help our company in case this person decides to do something stupid like suing us. I tend to think I should just get rid of it and just pretend that it's never happened. But before I do, I'm curious as what you think that I should do. 888-973-5476 is the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. You have to bet first, Ursula.
I'd probably throw it in the trash. And the reason I say that is because, there was a time when we would get mail that it has to be opened
right
before it would get to us.
Yeah.
For safety reasons. Mm-hmm. And the same thing probably should happen to someone who works in a position like that. And if you're getting a letter from someone who you've just terminated for good cause, and they say, now I can really tell you, how do you know they didn't put something in that letter or whatever?
Right.
Like,
but
curiosity kills the cat. So yeah, then I could also see you opening it. Then what?
Yeah. Hey, Ursula.
I would probably just toss it.
Toss it?
Yeah.
I would probably toss it too.
Yeah.
So I just want to start off with that. But right now, I'm really sensitive to a lot of things. And so, like this whole idea of the way it's set up here before you and I get anything written to us is like, hey, hold on. You open it, and if something happens to you, you're expendable.
I know. So I feel bad for the person at the front.
We'll let you open it before it gets to Gee and Ursula. How come Gee and Ursula? Well, we don't want nothing to happen to them. So if something happens to you, it's okay. Again, I'll admit I'm real sensitive to a lot of things these days. Just something. Have we ever thought about that? Hey, this person, ow!
Although I have been getting more mail just directly to me, come to think of it.
I feel like instead of maybe just tossing it, I would try to turn it into the right person to see. Like I know we were talking about it being screened or something like that, but man, if you
it was directed to him or her, whoever's the one who did the firing.
Oh man, I can see being scared, but yeah, I don't know. Curiosity would drive me nuts. I don't know if I could just toss it. I don't think I could. I think I might take the risk and open it up and see.
You know what? There are some people that will be real curious. Ursula,
Yeah.
I don't. Here's the thing, Ursula.
I might be that person who would be curious.
I need you to admit it. You would not toss that.
I would recommend that someone else.
You would toss it, and then you'd be like, "What did it say?"
There's a good chance I would open it out of curiosity.
I have a very I have something that's inside of me.
Yeah. Because I think you would open it too.
No,
you're the person who documents everything.
No. I would not. Because I have a shutoff in me that says, I don't care what your opinion is. And I'm tossing it.
Yeah. Well, and in a case like that, I don't care. Now, I will share without getting too in the details, but having been in a position where I've had to terminate a few people, and it was the part of management that I hated the most.
Yeah.
It could be, what if that person wanted to write and say, hey, I realize that I was in the wrong for X, Y, and Z and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't sound like that given what was on the outside of the envelope.
Yeah.
But I actually had someone call me years later and explain to me and apologize to me and say that it was that actually got this person to go get actual help. And it turned into, this is a person who was recommending me to be a news director in that particular station, which I was like, whoa, that is a turnaround.
Wow. I tell you what, it goes to show you that ideas and things and thoughts that we have today can be from years ago. And 425, thank you for this message that comes in, because Nick Paul, let me tell you guys something. There used to be a time in this country, still, as a matter of fact, to this day, to this day, if I get some mail at my house that is addressed to me, but I don't know who it's from, automatically I'm looking for white powder. Automatically I'm thinking about anthrax. Because there used to be a time, remember Ursula?
And that's exactly why the letters are being opened.
Yes.
And Ken and Everett actually has a great suggestion. Keep that letter and put it in a file folder called the terminated file. You never know if you might need that letter if you're called into court, etc. Actually, that's the best answer.
It wasn't certified. Now,
no,
if it's certified,
but there'd be something there.
You keep it in the archive.
Hey, if it's not certified and I go to court, what letter?
And Ken says, open it, but wear gloves. That's the other thing.
What letter? By the way, there was folks wearing gloves too, y'all, by the way, back in the day.
Oh, no fingerprints on that thing either.
What do you got there, Nick?
Well, if you really want to get the inside scoop on what the workers truly feeling about the situation, getting canned by the big bosses, yeah, go ahead, open that thing to see what they left behind. But if it were me, I would go ahead and read it just to protect myself and the company from anything that they might hint on doing that would harm others, or even any chance of them saying they're going to do some damage to other people's jobs. But on the other hand, once they're gone, it's all said and done. So I'd understand if you want to just get rid of it without opening. But hey, at the end of the day, it's your letter and your choice written directly to you with a seal and signature. So do whatever you want with it. If I'm getting let go personally, I wouldn't go out of my way in the first place to think of a written note, leave them behind. I would just be given the mic drop and leave with no words. But, good on them for giving the effort on writing that thing.
Good one there, good Nick. Good one.
You think it was good that that person wrote the letter to the boss saying, now, here's what I really think?
I feel like it was a little wasted effort because he doesn't even know if they're going to open it or read it or not.
Yeah, exactly.
But, maybe he let off some steam when he did that.
See,
that's true.
If you're going to do that in the future, don't lead with, here's what I really need to talk to you. Or you guys all hey, we need to talk. No, you got to do it different.
Yes.
You get a little, put out a little honey, you get more bees. You know what I mean?
Doing some nice stationery.
The letter's passive. You just go in the office and you talk.
The letter needs to say, hey, you know what? I just want to thank you for everything you did for me. Now that person is going to be like, oh, let me see what this person has to say. Then you hit them with this is what I really think.
That's called a compliment sandwich right there.
Yes.
Build, break, build. The BBBs.
Yeah.
Hey, coming up next, why marriage for so many is less appealing? All right. Text in. What do you think? You think that's true? Is marriage today less appealing? 888-973-5476. We're going to talk about it next. Gee Ursula.
Gee and Ursula on KIRO Newsradio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
Hey, this is Jake Skorheim, and you know what they say, April showers bring May clogged and overflowing gutters. However, Valentine Roofing, they've got you covered. Right now, you can bundle and save 10% off your entire job when you add new gutters to any new roofing project. Plus, with flexible financing available and payments as low as $159 a month, Valentine makes it easy. Schedule your free roofing and gutter estimate today to bundle and save 10%. Just call 206 Roofing. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File today the easy way in the Credit Karma app.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-3899. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-3899. That's 800-518-3899. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday.
All right, your car repair is going to run about $3,000.
Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit a federal refund into Credit Karma Money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank.
Progressive knows you want to get away, but not like too away. You crave the unknown, but also charcuterie boards with 4 types of cheese. And that's exactly why you bought an RV and bundled it with Progressive, because 24/7 protection is one luxury you'll never have to give up. So go ahead, explore the wilderness, all from the comfort of your zero-gravity camp chair. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. No!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026. Taxes, fees, extra.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. After President Trump's signing of an executive order, TSA says most of its workers have been paid today for at least 2 paychecks missed. CBS's Jason Allen is at Houston's George Bush Intercontinental Airport and says of the TSA sick-out calls,
we were well up over 3,000. It dropped to 2,800 yesterday. And, of course, this comes with, the promise of pay. We've had officers quit, though, right? Because remember, they've gone through this a couple of times during the shutdown back in November. Now again this time. Some of them still waiting for pay.
The partial government shutdown is still in effect. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns.
The standoff continues. This is now the longest DHS shutdown in history, and there appears, at least at this point, no end in sight. So what happened last week was the Senate came up with an agreement and essentially passed it, and the House decided not to take it up. Instead, the House wants a 2-month clean extension of Department of Homeland Security funding. That, of course, is a non-starter. And so here we are at this impasse.
Lawmakers are now on a 2-week recess for Easter and Passover. And among those not receiving paychecks, Secret Service and FEMA employees and the Coast Guard. The BBC and New York Times report that a U.S. short-range ballistic missile hit a sports hall and elementary school in a town in southern Iran on February 28th, which was the first day of the war, and the same day a girls' school was struck. CBS's Stacey Lynn.
A senior administration official says they are aware of the reports and are looking into them, adding, quote, the United States does not target civilians, unlike the terrorist Iranian regime.
Hundreds of U.S. Special Operations Forces are now in the Middle East. A development regarding the Trump administration's asylum crackdown. CBS's Camilo Montoya Galvez.
The Department of Homeland Security did in fact confirm our reporting that USCIS has partially lifted this pause when it comes to countries that are not, again, on President Trump's so-called travel ban.
Restrictions will remain in place for nearly 40 countries. Authorities say a student shot a teacher at a Texas high school and then fatally shot himself. It happened this morning at Hill Country College Prep High School in Bulverde. The teacher is in a hospital, no word on her condition. Workers are back on the job at one of the nation's biggest shipbuilders, CBS's Jim Crisula.
Hundreds of workers at one of the U.S. Navy's biggest shipbuilding contractors have voted to approve a deal with Bath Iron Works in Maine, ending a week-long strike. The new 4-year collective bargaining agreement goes into effect immediately. The company has not said whether the strike slowed production.
Stocks are mixed on Wall Street and oil is up 3.5%. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
The Millionaire's tax is law in Seattle. We're going to tell you all about that, in Seattle and beyond, I should say. We're going to tell you all about that after KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, and it's looking very good. I don't have any snags or problems to tell you about. The only reason that we're not a speed limit everywhere is some maintenance work and construction. Linwood to Seattle is 19 minutes on I-5 southbound. Federal Way to Seattle is 22 minutes. Linwood to Bellevue, 18 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 16 minutes. And this report is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Ichiro Replica Statue Night is Friday, April 10th. Don't miss out and get your tickets at mariners.com.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. With the stroke of a pen, Washington now has an income tax. Governor Bob Ferguson signed it less than an hour ago. The measure taxes income over $1 million at 9.9%.
And now it's time to hold this wonderful bill up. Give a round of applause for everybody and their hard work on this legislation.
Here's Majority Leader Senator Jamie Peterson, who was the primary sponsor of the bill.
With this bill, we're going to begin to right a historic wrong that has plagued our state for nearly 100 years and made our tax system one of the worst and most regressive in the entire country.
Legal challenges are already brewing. Jackson Maynard is with the Citizen Action Defense Fund.
And the problem that they've created for themselves is they've run out of other people's money to spend. They have a spending problem, not a revenue problem.
He says they've hired former Attorney General Rob McKenna to sue to overturn that law. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson is hoping to fast-track plans to open 1,000 new shelter spaces by the end of this year. Council members today are considering legislation to make it easier to sign leases on micro-housing encampments and authorize money to pay for some of them. Supporters like Anitra Freeman say it's long overdue.
We need all kinds of shelter. We need low-barrier, high-service shelter.
Estimated cost is $17 million. Seattle Torrent got their captain back. Star forward Hillary Knight was on long-term injured reserve since returning from the Olympics with an injury to her lower body. Knight racked up 3 goals and 3 assists for the U.S., including a goal in the Americans' 2-1 overtime win over Canada in the final. She played in last night's loss to the Ottawa Charge. Mariners fans are reselling their souvenir ferry boat snack tray. You've probably seen it in videos online. It's very cute. The middle sun deck holds your food while the 2 sides hold small tubs of dip. It's being sold as an $8 upgrade when you buy chicken tenders, etc. Now it's showing up on eBay for $80 to $200. How about that? Let's get your weather forecast. We're going to stay mostly sunny today. Clouds move in overnight with a high of 58 degrees tomorrow. Rain likely by Wednesday. It's 38 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Appreciate you all hanging out with us. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. Hey, coming up at 11:30, we do Agree to Disagree. Our Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO. And, of course, we can't do the show without you, so we hope that you engage some kind of way. And if you missed the story as to what happened that had me at the doctor's office or the ER 4 times in the past week, I explained that at 9:47, and you can check out that story. Because as it turns out, a lot of people have had this condition that I am still dealing with and still fighting through. And I explained some of the lessons learned. But first things first, if you ever get cellulitis or any kind of big red bump,
take it serious.
Take it seriously.
Okay.
Absolutely. But again, 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
President Trump signed an executive order to restore pay for TSA officers after working 6 weeks without pay because of a partial government shutdown. And we have more details from CBS's Jason Allen at the airport in Houston.
We were well up over 3,000. It dropped to 2,800 yesterday. And of course, this comes with, the promise of pay. We've had officers quit, though, right? Because remember, they've gone through this a couple of times during the shutdown back in November. Now again this time.
And this time, more than 450 TSA officers quit since that partial government shutdown began in mid-February. And you travel a ton. You traveled this weekend. I was curious if you saw any changes, anything that indicated that we were having troubles.
It took me longer to get my Americano at the Starbucks right there near the D gate than it did to go through TSA. And by the way, I did a mobile order. So that just lets you know. First, I want to, before we continue talking, shout out to all of the federal workers, TSA, for what you continue to do to make life better for us. I went through, it was a breeze in SCA. It was a breeze down in SFO, down in San Francisco. And it was just a breeze. And I was mindful and thinking about that as I was going through. And the reason why, Ursula, is I was literally paying attention to their face. I wanted to be able to see. If I didn't know what was going on. Yeah. If I didn't know, then I would look at them and be like, they're fine. You cannot tell that we're going on 6 weeks of these folks not getting paid. And then,
I know that I would be bitter. I would still be professional, but I know that I would be
I'm
upset
bitter, and I'm getting paid.
Exactly.
I'm bitter, right?
But kudos, big shout out to all those people who, are caught in the middle. None of this is their fault, and they're having to continue working a very strenuous job and not getting paid. So, yes, so this executive order, we have not been told where the money's going to come from. And again, does this only cover back pay? Does it get them current? So we'll find out more details about that. But you had mentioned something about Tyler Perry.
Yeah, so, I want to go in the right order. It was Elon Musk at first offered to pay and give salaries to the TSA workers, and I guess they said, hey, Elon Musk, you can't do that because there's some rule against that. And then Tyler Perry down there at Hartsfield, down in Atlanta, that airport, he says, hey, I want to go ahead and pay their salaries. And they're like, no, you can't do that. And at least he wanted to give them cash, so he said, oh, okay, boom. I found a loophole. I'm going to give him all $1,000 gift cards. And everybody like, oh, that's great. And guess what? They can't do that either. So you can't get the gift card. So there's something lately that I have been saying, and I'll bring this up again. I'm constantly talking about the system and how it is designed. Well, just so you know, the system is designed to continue these amazing people working 6 weeks without a check. They've missed 3 checks so far. And there's in the system, it prevents them. Now, if you can go and do the GoFundMe and you can do the gas cards, I think that's happened here locally.
Yeah, actually, my son bought a gas card and a grocery card. Mm-hmm. And he was asking if I wanted to chip in because he was going to travel through because he was going to Miami. And, of course, I said yes. But they were still able to do that. But now SEA has actually suspended all the efforts there at SeaTac because of the pay that is supposed to happen starting today.
So I know you didn't prepare for this. So I actually wanted to talk about this last week. And so here's my question to all of you right now, if you're listening. So I'm sure most of you are pretty upset the fact that we have men and women not being able to collect a paycheck even though they're working. So my question now is this, which I believe is the goal, but I won't prejudice the jury. would you want to see this privatized? Would you want to see TSA privatized in airports? This is a simple question. Well, it can be yes or no.
Interesting that you asked that, because two people have just texted in pointing out that SEA staff at TSA deserve kudos. SFO is privatized and not TSA screening personnel. Did not know that. Okay, and that's not verified. Paul, can you?
Yeah, I'll look it up. I've never heard of. I didn't know that there could be private.
I'm seeing that Laura in Issaquah is saying the same thing.
Well, I didn't.
That they are paid by a private company that partners with TSA.
I'll just go first, Ursula.
Yes.
As much as I hate what's going on right now, the answer is no. I do not want to see TSA privatized. That is not an answer. Yeah, what they need to do is the same loophole that happens when people in Congress continue to get paid. Do this for them. Let's not make them the guinea pig and make them, we're going to make them be the bait.
So what is your reason to say no to privatization of TSA?
Because then what will end up happening is you won't have a consistent thing, right? You'll have this unequal playing field. If there's one thing that I do love about TSA is like McDonald's. You feel me? Like the quarter pounder with cheese in Seattle is going to taste the same in Jacksonville, Florida. So in TSA, when you start talking about privatizing, so I get ready to fly to Seattle, I don't want to go to this one place because the company that owns that is not that great. Well, what about this? I don't know about going there. It's not that great. You have never decided not to go somewhere because the TSA agents aren't the same as the other TSA agents.
Yeah.
So when you start, even though, again, I don't like what's happening now, and if this was privatized, they'd be getting paid.
Yes.
That's not Pandora's box that I want to open.
Got an update here from the San Francisco Airport's website. Covenant Aviation Security, a private company under contract with the Transportation Security Administration, provides passenger and baggage screening at SFO. That is from the airport's official website. So, yes, that is indeed true.
Huh.
So I could see where there would be some, and I know that this was in the Project 2025, the whole, move toward privatization, and there are issues with that as well.
Could you see it though? Like I could see it now. Okay, privatize, and then you leave Seattle. Hey, it's cheaper to fly to Boise, Idaho, because that company doesn't have to really pay. But if you want to go to LA, privatizing something usually makes it more expensive. Never want to privatize it. But let's put it together where these folks need to get paid.
Yeah,
please.
Text us 888-973-5476, 888-973.
Pass a bill that says they can't get paid. Pass a bill that Congress cannot get paid if there is a shutdown.
I agree. Now I think everyone should be able to agree on that one. Okay, in the Seattle Times this morning, they did an update because a little while back, our favorite guy, the FYI guy, Gene Balk, had written about the number of people leaving the state of Washington since the pandemic. And he said that his column at the time relied on State Department of Licensing data on driver's licenses, but now he has been able to go a little further and look into whether the number of folks leaving the state has also increased since the pandemic, because the data of the DOL stuff only tracks people arriving in Washington, not those heading out. So he says, yes, although it is not a mass exodus, there is a noticeable uptick in the number of people who are leaving Washington. And I won't bore you with a ton of numbers, but basically, it boils down to, in the years since 2020, there's been an increase of nearly 34,700 people per year, or about 18% leaving, moving to another state.
Sure.
And the top states, as we mentioned earlier, Idaho had the largest average increase in annual movers when comparing the 5-year periods. And then it was Texas, and then followed by Florida, Arizona, and Georgia. And those 5 states alone account for more than half the overall increase in movers to other states.
Yeah. First, let me say this. Yes, I believe it. I totally believe that people are deciding to move from Washington State.
It's expensive as heck here.
It's expensive. But let's go back to what I have been saying for the last 2 to 3 years. Specifically, let's talk about Seattle. I told you before that they are going to make, and they're continuing to make, Seattle a place of affluence. They're making sure that you can't afford. You can't. Matter of fact, we talk about housing. You're talking the median house price in the city of Seattle being $900 or something thousand. Before we even get to affording a house, can we just talk about parking? We can't even afford to park downtown Seattle. That's number one. Number two, make sure when we are talking about the people that are moving, please don't hang your hat on Howard Schultz. First of all, Howard Schultz, you should have been gone for what you did with the Sonics. That's one. Two, let's be real, my boy. Like, you're a billionaire. I mean, you're fine. You made a lot of money. Now, I believe?
And now you don't want to pay.
Yes.
You don't want to pay additional taxes. So,
but now, when I think of people that are leaving Washington State, I am thinking about the people that are like, you know what? These taxes are crazy for us. It is hard to run a business because the way it is designed right now, the state of Washington is anti-small business. I've been saying that. But also, don't forget that as of early this year, can we talk about the amount of tech workers that have been laid off here? How much are we talking about the layoffs of Amazon, the layoffs of Meta, the layoffs of these big companies? So if you can't afford these things, some people are making a smart decision to move. And by the way, Ursula, I think the next time we talk about this topic, we will continue to see more people leave the state because it is hard to live.
Mm-hmm. Jennifer and Graham points out a great thing, too. When you move from Washington, you have to look at what rights mean more to you to decide where to move as well. I mean, for some people, it is purely financial. But for some others, it's, hey, where are my rights going to be more guaranteed or more respected? Okay, one more question for you, because this has to do with marriage. And are younger people skipping marriage? I say yes. And the New York Times actually looked into the trends of young people who are saying no thanks when it comes to tying the knot and what might be driving that. And as of 2023, the last data available from the Pew Research Center, there were about 111 million single adults ages 18 and up in this country. And of course, that is a sizable increase from 70 million in 1990. But also, according to this research, the U.S. marriage rate hit a 140-year low in 2019 and has never fully rebounded. Mm-hmm. And it may be there was just a slight increase in the overall marriage rate in the past couple of years, but they say it could be because there was a dip in the divorce rate and longer lifespans, not because more people are choosing to get married. So what is happening? And what is happening, especially amongst the younger adults? And one of the researchers says, I used to say we didn't know if marriage was being delayed or foregone. I think the evidence is pretty clear now. It's not just adults are delaying marriage, but they're just dismissing it altogether.
Of everything that we talked about today, this might be the easiest topic to talk about. Mm-hmm. Because it's interesting when people, well, back in our day, and marriage used to mean something. Well, what did it mean, Claude? Because marriage used to be survival for a lot of people. Women couldn't even have a bank account in their name. Women used to get shunned for getting a divorce. Women today can now earn. They have the ability to invest. They have the ability to build their portfolio. Look, check this out. Today, women literally don't need a man. In the 50s and 60s.
Or at least to marry a man. They don't need to have the ring, right? I mean.
In the early 20th century, literally, it was survival for women. Right. And since we want to really talk about these marriages, the marriages that lasted for 40, 50 years, everybody talks about, let's dig into some of these marriages. How many's grandpa, I married your grandmother. We got together when she was 14. Let's talk now. Let's have the conversation of how things used to be. Let's have the conversation where back in the day, domestic violence and what used to happen with that.
What still happens.
But back then, a lot of folks weren't even getting arrested for it.
Yeah.
So again, like...
So do you think it's just women are realizing that they have... Because that's not what this research...
Women are the most educated.
Concluded.
They're
Yes.
the most educated right now in our country. It's the same women that when we were in school, the women that always did their homeworks, and the men, I didn't do my homework, but I could play some sports. So what we are seeing today is what happens is that a man can't just say, hey, I'll just take care of you these days. Women have the ability to work. They have the ability to make money. And what happens is we men have not caught up to society today. They just expect for a woman to just, how many times have we heard the saying, oh, you just need to get in the kitchen? People still have that mentality. That's why the reason why marriage is lower today, because women don't need men for survival.
Okay, one other thing just to ponder, because someone actually wrote this, that studies demonstrate that Gen Z, those between 1997 and 2012, born those years, are more risk averse. They wait longer to get their driver's licenses. They don't engage in such risky behaviors like we did. And so that might be also another reason they're avoiding or at least delaying marriage.
Well, I think about young people too, and think about how many of these kids saw their own parents go through rough patches in their marriage, or even worse yet, get divorced, and thinking, I don't want that for myself.
That is true too.
That's another risk aversion.
That is true too. The success rate ain't that great.
No. And again, the standard, there's an increased standard for who you marry. Before it was, well, he was a next door neighbor, nice guy. He's got a job, so I guess I have to kind of marry him. Coming up next here on the Gee Ursula Show. Agree, disagree? This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it with a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Owie, wowie!
What's with the
water heater's worn out?
Way less hot water?
Takes a lot longer, too.
Sounds like a goner.
Worst of all?
What?
Wasn't planning on it.
We can help.
Apollo Plumbing.
Ready right now to get you...
in hot water.
Same day.
Not this day. My budget.
How about with easy payments?
How much easy?
Around $50 a month with approved credit.
A new water heater?
50 gallons of 100% hot water delight.
For about $50 a month.
51, 52 to be precise.
And you can do it
today if that's what you need.
Is it ever?
Apollo installs new ones with code upgrades.
Can't beat that.
Actually, I can.
What?
Your same-day water heater replacement includes Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which means?
Apollo Plumbing covers your new water heater for life.
You mean should it ever wear out?
Apollo Plumbing replaces it free.
And if it needs service?
Service is included for our A-list members.
Wow!
Your new water heater is ready
right now
at apolloplumbing.com.
How would you like to finally lose all those unwanted pounds quickly without spending thousands on painful injections or prescriptions? Hi, it's Donna Simpson, health and wellness expert. You probably know someone that is using Ozempic, the hottest diet craze in the country. Everyone knows about this prescription injection. Celebs use it to look their best. The problem is most of us can't afford Ozempic, and these injections can be so uncomfortable. Now you can lose the weight just as easily, but with no needles, no expensive prices, no side effects, and no worries. You need to try Lozempic, a new miracle weight loss breakthrough that performs so well it's been called nature's Ozempic. Lozempic is an easy-to-take diet pill now available without a prescription, being used by thousands to get rid of those unwanted pounds. So call now and find out how to get a free bottle.
To find out how to get your free bottle of Lozempic, call 800-631-7101, 800-631-7101. Free bottles are limited, so call 800-631-7101. That's 800-631-7101.
Hey, this is Jake Skorheim, and you know what they say, April showers bring May clogged and overflowing gutters. However, Valentine Roofing, they've got you covered. Right now, you can bundle and save 10% off your entire job when you add new gutters to any new roofing project. Plus, with flexible financing available and payments as low as $159 a month, Valentine makes it easy. Schedule your free roofing and gutter estimate today to bundle and save 10%. Just call 206 Roofing. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
Washington's lottery gives out a lot of green to winners in schools and retailers awesomely. Nearly 600 mil to people that play. Another 180 mil to vocational training and education from preschool to college. Now you got the knowledge, a win-win for all of us. Play Washington lottery, lottery, lottery. Play Washington lottery, lottery, yeah.
Visit walllottery.com. Who benefits to learn more.
Every day, students stay after school for sports, clubs, and tutoring, many on empty stomachs. Safeway and Champions of Change offer grants for after-school meal programs. Schools apply by April 1st at championsofchangefoundation.org and click Nourishing Champions.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. President Donald Trump threatened widespread destruction of Iran's energy resources and other vital infrastructure if a deal to end the war is not reached shortly.
Their best move is to make a deal, or else the United States Armed Forces has capabilities beyond their wildest imagination, and the president is not afraid to use them.
That's White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt. Sources tell CBS News that hundreds of U.S. Special Forces service members, including Navy SEALs and Army Rangers, are now in the Middle East, as well as thousands of Marines and Army paratroopers. Part of the president's threats include seizing Karg Island, a critical oil hub for Iran. More from CBS News Pentagon reporter Eleanor Watson.
We should note that island is just 15 miles off the coast of Iran. So even if a mission is doable, the troops there would risk threats from cruise missiles, from drones, from fast attack speedboats, and likely risk more casualties.
These gas prices aren't just hurting at the pump, they're dragging down the whole economy. Here's KIRO News Radio's Amanda Factor to explain.
Gas buddy analyst Patrick DeHaan tells Seattle's Morning News Americans are spending about $8 billion more on gas than they were before the war started February 28th. That money, he says, has to come from somewhere.
We're talking about already seeing a drop in QSR, that is fast food, entertainment. Discretionary spending is likely to take a hit as Americans wake up to the reality of, well, I just don't have any more money. It's all in my tank.
DeHaan says oil jumped another 3% today with no deal between the U.S. and Iran anywhere in sight. Prices are likely to keep climbing. Amanda Factor, KIRO News Radio.
More TSA officers are seeing at least 2 paychecks worth of payments being processed. That's after the president issued an executive order to reallocate some funding for their back pay. The hope is that this will bring some relief to workers and travelers who have had to wait in security lines for hours. The wait times have been pretty normal at SEA Airport. And speaking of Seattle's airport, more international flights are coming here just in time for summer. Starting today, you can hop a direct flight to Hong Kong on Cathay Pacific. Alaska is adding flights to Rome, London, and Reykjavik, among others. That report by the Seattle Times. Now we're going to check your traffic, and it's looking fantastic on the roads. Federal Way to Seattle, just 21 minutes. You don't hear this much anymore because of the I-5 construction, but Linwood to Seattle is just 16 minutes. Linwood to Bellevue, also 16 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 14 minutes. This report brought to you by Global Credit Union. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee discounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. We're going to stay dry, mostly sunny, in fact. 52 degrees as your high, overnight lows in the high 30s. Mostly cloudy tomorrow and rain possible by Wednesday. 38 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. It is time for us to agree to disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves, just really go at it.
Gee, you were just telling us about how you were heading to the airport and picking up your Starbucks Americano there from the airport.
Yes.
And while we weren't talking about the time it took, this might be good news for travelers, but bad news for the employees here, as Starbucks is eyeing bringing in those kiosks that you might have seen at other fast food restaurants and things, where you order at the kiosk, the order goes through, and then you pick up your order. You pay for it all there, basically skipping the cash register here. The idea is to bring down wait times at high congestion areas like airports, grocery stores, and universities as well. So they're looking to bring these tablets or whatever kiosks in and to start replacing some of these the infrastructure that already exists. Ursula, I want to start with a question for you because I know G is focused on it. Would you be intrigued by ordering from a kiosk at Starbucks in order to get something faster, get your drink faster? Their goal, 4 minutes. They want 4-minute wait times for the Starbucks drinks, and they think that this is going to help.
Man, I'm confused because I thought the new Starbucks CEO is trying to bring back the third place. So now they're trying to...
the difference here is they're targeting the airports. So it's not necessary. There has this initial rollout, though. It's the initial rollout. Yeah. Is at the airports, the supermarkets, not the traditional stores.
I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of kiosk drinks or especially food. I just cannot get myself to feel like I'm going to get something that's good or fresh if it comes like from a machine.
Well, the machine's just taking the order. It's going back. People will make the drinks and everything still. So it's basically just kind of knocking out the cashier, essentially, is what you're looking at. Replacing the cashier or the cashier experience.
Well, I think that's
with
just kind of the
touchscreen.
direction everything's going, is eliminating cost of the workforce. So, yeah, I guess. But to be honest, the only place I go get coffee is in this building. Outside of this building, I don't drink coffee. So I'm going to turn it to G.
Yeah. So, look, I could sit here and say, like, I don't like this because this would start to eliminate workers, right? But then let me show you the hypocrisy of G. I sit there and say that, but then I turn around and do the mobile order. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so what ends up happening is we today want things faster and faster and faster. We don't like lines. I'll speak for myself. I definitely don't like lines. I can't stand them. It makes me anxious on lines. And so hence the reason I know I know exactly now when I want to hit my mobile order for the Starbucks in SCA right there by the D. I know exactly. As soon as I hit the little clear section right there to get ready to go through TSA, boop, I'm going to hit that order right there so that way I can try to time it when I get up there.
So this would be perfect for you.
This would... Unfortunately, I'm sitting there saying that I don't like it because I don't. Because this is more like if you guys have been to Panera lately, Panera does this right now. They got the screen. You come in there, you do, and then they're in the back. They're doing your order. Boom, you paid for it. All those things. I think that's where we're going. And man, so many of us continue to need that human connection.
Yes.
And so, I don't know, man. I can sit here and say on one hand I don't like it, but on the other hand, I'm a hypocrite because I use mobile orders. So it's coming, and it's going to prevent that. Then I say I don't like lines.
Doug in Mount Vernon wants to know, will these kiosks have a feature for shaming customers to add a tip?
I don't think I'm sure they will.
Well, and that's the thing. You would tip less, with this. And that's it. You go to McDonald's. Have you guys been to McDonald's yet and used that screen when it comes to that? So we're heading that way. I would say in 10 years, 5 to 10 years, most places that you go to when it comes to fast food will be just like that. And by the way, since we're talking about fast food, you remember, there was a lot of people that told me that, you're not supposed to last in a fast food job for a long time, right? You need to go get a real job. These jobs are for high school kids. Well, these fast food chains have been ran by high school kids for years.
And now they're going to be eliminated.
Yeah, and just to point out, Starbucks would not be the first to bring these kiosks into SCA. I know over in the new the End Gate.
The End Gate, they got
the
those.
Wendy's is basic. It has people that up at the counter. You can still go to the counter, but it creates this kind of weird two-line situation where some people go up to I don't think everyone knows exactly where to go, but I don't know if I'm so sure about convenience replacing that. But I know how there is the number one business at an airport has to be a Starbucks. Every airport across the country,
Facts.
They are always popping.
And the reason why is because they know that in every city that you go to, they know the Starbucks is going to taste the same, right?
I was in the Philippines in the middle of Fort Bonifacio, and I had to text you a picture because there's a woman wearing a roller in her head, and I had to send you a picture. I was like, gee, it happens here too. But you were like, you guys are in a Starbucks. My son and his girlfriend were there. They were just craving something that just tasted like home.
Yeah,
it's good to have.
I bet they love that.
All right. This is for the sports fans out there. In case you were watching, the big dance, the March basketball, the college basketball has been awesome, both on the men's and women's side. But the big headline from the tournament, Duke goes down. And in case you missed it, Duke goes down with 0.3 seconds left after the UConn steals the ball and hits a late three to go up by 1 point. They eventually win the game. So, Gee, would you rather just get blown out and say, I'm happy to be here at the big dance, we made it to the round of 64, and we're happy to be here? Or would you rather a hard-fought game, we lost because we couldn't convert there at the end, and we missed our chance?
Well, I've answered this all the time. I always say I just rather get blown out because the close games are heartbreaks. First, let me just tell you, anytime Duke loses, and considering Duke was up 17 points in this game, and UConn came back and won.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was
beautiful. Oh, heaven sent.
Yeah, Duke is like the Yankees of college basketball.
Yeah. So you're not crying?
No, second year in a row, Duke has lost when they've been ahead. That's one. However, on the other side, by the way, as you get 50, everything's nuanced now. You got the head coach for UConn, Hurley. I can't stand this dude. He is the absolute worst. As a matter of fact, here's what's crazy. Ursula, they go up to win. It's 0.4 seconds left in the game. They're about to win this game. This dude is getting in the face still of the referee. I wish that referee would have gave him a tech, but they wouldn't do that. Their coach is gross. Hurley, with the thing he does, he's such a bad sport. He's so awful for the game, and nobody says or does anything. Trust me, not everybody can do what Hurley does. He gets that privilege.
But he's now his team is now in the Final Four.
Yep.
So you kind of have mixed feelings about that whole thing.
What would I rather? I'd rather UConn win? Yes.
Okay.
Duke must be the most hated sports. Is Duke the most hated sports team in college or pro? It seems like everybody hates Duke more than the Yankees, more than the Dodgers, more than the Patriots.
How about this? We don't have time for me to explain why I dislike Duke so much.
All I know is I would rather have it be a close game, even if it's a buzzer beater. I'd rather lose in a close game than a blowout. Blowout to me would be humiliating.
Had a shot the whole time, and then the ball didn't go your way. I tend to believe that. Now it doesn't hurt any less. It probably hurts even more. But I'd rather be competitive, I think.
All right, coming up next, your text messages, feedback, and then words to live by.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter-churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home and auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS4KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to cars4kids.org now or call 877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. For a limited time, we'll pay the sales tax. That's right, we'll discount all new orders the cost of the sales tax on the project. Call today and let one of our pros come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to you. Text messages on the way. You guys have been sending them in. Ursula, what we got?
Well, on my return, Robin Puyallup has been asking this consistently. Any superpowers starting to show up? The answer is still not yet.
Okay. All right.
The super radio host.
You know what, though? Superpowers are all of you. Seriously, I got well faster because what I have actually takes usually longer to heal from. And I'm still in the process, but it's definitely sped up. And I think it is just because of the kindness of all of you reaching out. And I mean, there were people emailing me every single day.
Nice.
I mean, it was very sweet. So thank you.
Well, it's important that you brought this up, like texters. A lot of people said this on the text line, Ursula. Cindy in Bothell said, so good to hear you this morning, Ursula. I'm sorry for what you've gone through, and I appreciate that you're sharing your experience to help us learn what you learned.
Big facts.
Yeah, take it seriously. If you got a little bump that hurts to touch. Okay, G hits a milestone. I said that you're going to be entering your 5th decade. And Sandy in Kirkland says G is actually just completing his 5th decade. He's on the cusp of beginning his 6th decade, and it'll be awesome for him. And she's correct.
By the way,
on all fronts.
I still remember my McDonald's birthday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I haven't had that many birthday parties in my life or whatever, but I still remember McDonald's. So it's like,
and how old were you at McDonald's birthday?
5.
Oh.
I still remember that. Yeah. So.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Ernie in Kent says, G turning 50 is so liberating. You're just going to feel it.
We were talking about the millionaire tax that was just being signed into law, or actually just did get signed into law. Paul in the 253 said there should be a balanced budget attached to the income tax.
Agree. Mike in Bonnie Lake says property taxes are a beast in Texas. It works both ways as far as moving out. It's hard, but no matter the political side, people will do what's best for their family.
Come on, Mike.
Mel on Bainbridge says, I'm neutral on the millionaire tax. The only issue I have is why is it per household and not per taxpayer? True. That to me is not the fair part. When we file joint federal income income tax returns, we get double the standard deduction compared to filing single. Why have a marriage penalty?
Avery in Tacoma says, I agree with G on this one. The lower 20% pays the highest amount of taxes in our state, and we have the most progressive tax structure in the country. 13% of their income versus the 1% paying 4%. What this millionaire tax should come with is lowering gas and sales taxes so that this balance out. And also some assurances that the middle class won't pay an income tax magically when they decide to lower it. Avery, bingo.
That was good, Avery. We need to have a conversation on the whole middle class. We should have that discussion.
And where are they?
Does that even exist anymore?
Exactly. And what was it there for in the first place? Was it basically to say, hey, you're not upper class, but hey, you're middle. You're fine.
You can get here if you
can get here if you work hard. All right, what else y'all got?
We're talking about the Mariners and, unfortunately, the struggles to watch the Mariners here. 253 says this is totally outrageous. The lack of communication and the lack of accessibility is unbelievable.
253 says, as to the M's game, all I got to say is I saw it on the radio.
Yeah, hanging out with Rick there. I wanted to fast forward here to the mall here, and 206 says, I went to Alderwood yesterday. It was packed. It's always packed. I have no idea why. It looks to be a social center for the area, like malls traditionally were in the suburbs. And I think that's the thing. If your mall can be a place where the kids can hang out, you're going to have crowds because they want to go there.
And that's why South Center is booming.
That's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Jennifer Buckley says, we think for a mall to work, it needs a good movie theater, nice restaurants, and a cheaper chain store all connected to the mall. This gives reasons for people to go to the mall who don't want to browse the mall while they're waiting for their movie or after dinner just for fun.
And it needs Orange Julius. All right, Ursula, it's time for your words to live by.
And chicken on those little toothpicks.
And an arcade. Bring back the arcades, too.
Oh, gosh.
This is from Barbara DeAngelis, and this is just how I feel. Given what's gone on in this last week. Love and kindness are never wasted. They always make a difference. They bless the one who receives them, for sure, and they bless you, the giver.
Good stuff there, Ursula. True. Nick, what do you got?
Well, everyone is happy to see baseball season start, and especially in Bellevue with that light rail in their parts. But aside from going to the games and sitting in the stands, can we just get games for free when turning on the tube in hand? Give people what they want. And even after Ursula came back to join the show, she never asked for any extra cost to give us what we know. But, maybe a little chicken on that toothpick from the mall is all she'll ask for. Nothing too big,
All right. Are we getting sun this week, by the way?
We're getting it right now.
I see it now.
Uh-huh.
Can we get that for the rest of the week? Because I got back in town yesterday, and I'm like, why is it so cold, and why is it raining?
It's peaking, but it ain't speaking right now.
Oh, you already know, Nick. All right. Ursula, we going to do this again tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, we are.
All right. Appreciate you, Ursula. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Paul.
Always
Paul,
happy to.
so you done with us, huh?
It sounds like we're heading to the bullpen. It sounds like Sophia's coming back, but I'm always available too. You never know when.
And I wanted to say one thing. Sorry, you've been awesome, Paul.
Thank you.
And I know there are people who are still asking, how's Chef? Where's Chef? We're still waiting to hear when he will return. My understanding is that he's doing well, and that's all we can share right now. But just know that we love him and are thinking of him, and we pass along the messages that you give too.
Yeah, so big shoes to fill, but we're hoping for the best. And but like I said, we're always happy to be here and help her out with the Gee and Ursula Show.
Well, and you are so great about doing that.
Thank you. I'm working with the best.
Nick, appreciate you, brother.
You too, man.
Nick, you going to be with us tomorrow, right?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Yeah, make sure you tell Paul, it's okay to stay with us from time to time.
We'll have a talk.
Yeah, have a talk with Paul. Paul don't want to rock with us no more. You know what I mean? Hey, appreciate you. Hey, the Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
April showers bring May who am I kidding? We live in Western Washington. The only thing April showers bring are clogged and overflowing gutters, which can damage your home from your roof to your foundation. Hey, this is Jake Skorheim, and my friends at Valentine Roofing are ready to come to your rescue. Right now, you can bundle and save 10% off your entire job when you add new gutters to any new roofing project. Plus, Valentine also offers gutter guards to help keep leaves and needles out for good, giving you an additional layer of defense against clogged and overflowing gutters. Having Valentine out at my house and seeing their professionalism and attention to detail, it's no surprise Valentine Roofing was awarded the 2025 Gold for Best Roofing Company and Silver for Best Gutter Company by the Seattle Times Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards. You deserve the best too, so schedule your free roofing and gutter estimate today to bundle and save 10%. Just call 206-ROOFING. That's 206-ROOFING. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Washington's lottery gives out a lot of green to winners in schools and retailers awesomely. Nearly 600 mil to people that play. Another 180 mil to vocational training and education from preschool to college. Now you got the knowledge, a win-win for all of us. Play Washington lottery, lottery, lottery. Play Washington lottery, lottery, yeah.
Visit walllottery.com. Who benefits to learn more.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File today the easy way in the Credit Karma app.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath.